Yo, we live. You're now listening to Volume 183 of the Bucketup podcast. Here with your boy Ty Doyle, aka DJ Buttersauce, aka Ty Lante, aka your mom called me over for the cookout. And I'm here as always with the homie, the kid JB. What's
Yo,
good?
good to be back. I missed that handsome face. I'm sure y'all missed this voice, but it is me, the kid JB. Could have been right last week, aka Mr. Told You So. Not because I'm always right, but when I'm right, I got to remind you, I told you so. A little Puff Armstrong because I'm in here lifting legally, medically, physically, and herbally. I got a new one to the list. Unfortunately, it's part of the aging process. I come down with vertigo, so we gonna call me Lil Uzi Vertigo. Out here, dizzy as a motherfucker, puking all over places. We'll get to it. But more importantly, I'm excited to be here, my home planet, which is the Bucketup podcast, my therapeutic outlet, my speaking to the universe, but also speaking to my guy DJ Buttersauce, my brother in pod, my brother DJ Buttersauce. Bro, how you been?
I've been good, man. As good as I could be, It's been, I guess, a weird time. It's always a weird time in America.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's exhausting. If that was the metric point, if that was the base, I'd be like, I wouldn't ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like on a micro, like my little family, friends life, like everything's good. You know what I'm saying? The wife's good, the daughter's good. She's talking, she's about to walk soon, hopefully. She's like standing up and stuff. So like that stuff is cool. Like shouts to the homie Spencer. Just had a
Shouts
baby.
to
So like,
Spence,
you know what I'm saying?
2-time guest, 3-time
Shouts to
guest, I
him.
think 4-time guest maybe.
Yeah,
Shouts to that.
yeah. Shouts to him. All my homies, at least, from talking to them, everybody seems to be doing well. So, in that sense, things are good. But like, on a macro sense of like, the state of the world, like, not the best. Between stuff we're gonna talk about in the pod, but the shootings, the mass shootings, and the insane fake inflation. That's like everybody just like fucking seeing a reason to start upping the price on everything.
The inflation,
You know
the
what I'm saying?
inflation.
Like,
I don't know, maybe.
yeah, it's like inflation is like 8%. It's like the prices are up 30, my guy. It's on that shit ain't jiving, B. What's going like gas? Gas per the barrel.
The one time I paid attention in economics was
time.
micro when I was like, or macro, and I'm like, yo, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying? Or micro. I don't remember. Whatever.
Either way, it's like this shit.
I didn't pay attention clearly.
Right? It's like, oh, it's a chicken wing shortage. All right, cool. We get that. Chicken wings are first of all, it's like we were thinking about getting wings yesterday, and it's like the motherfuckers were like $19 for 12, and I'm like, no, I can't. Like, nah, I said, I don't know if people seen the tweet, but we've strayed from God's light. Like, there's no way that like wings should ever be more. Like $1 a wing is already kind of crazy. Like $1 per
you go
wing.
to
We doing $1.50 per wing or whatever. $1.30.
you,
like,
you know how you go to like one of those wing spots that used to be like 25 cents a wing, and you ask them that, and they give you like the cartoon like evil laugh, like mwahaha, mwahaha, 25 cents. Hey Billy, he thought it was 25 cents. Mwahaha. It's like, all right, bro. It's a thing of the past.
Like,
I get you,
but
bro.
like,
It's sad about here, but I do think, bro, and as selfish as it is, as corny as it is, I do understand the beauty and seeing the beauty in the small things and having to stick to your bubble and having to resort to the small wins, because if you did base it to like the grand picture, then it's always a loss, bro. Because I mean, world hunger is always going to be a thing. We're not solving that. You know, there's a billion kids that are not have parents. There's dogs on the street. Like, you're always gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, selfishly, you have to, for your sanity, kind of like disconnect at times. So it is good that
you gotta compartmentalize.
yeah. So it's good that Mari's talking and doing shit. Like, even though those are basic things, they need to be like hyped the fuck up to outweigh the sadness. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to Mari, bro. 100%. She's cute as fuck. I think she's 1.3 years old, right? 13 months or whatever the fuck.
She's
15. Okay, yeah.
She's turned
1.3. All right, we're out here. Or 1.4 might be. It might be 1.4. Whatever.
You did. I did decimals. I'm not on that. I don't.
Yeah, well, that's why we're out of pocket for arguing about the inflation because I don't even know fucking 25% of that.
No, I know. I'm just saying because it's like
that's
not,
you, dog. I'm like, I don't
easy
even know this baby's age. You know? I'm
saying the decimals on it is hard because it's like it's not 10 months in a year. It's 12.
That is
so
true.
Like, what's point of what? Like, there's no point to even do that. So,
nah,
like,
facts. So, but shouts to Mari, bro.
Shouts
Shouts to Katie. Super mom over here, teacher. You know what I'm saying? / super mom. Mari's cool as shit.
School's out for
the summer, bro. I bet you Katie's gonna read a bunch of books. You know what I'm saying, on her nerd shit. Shouts to that.
Teaching summer school.
Okay. Well, I was one of her students then, so shouts to that. But nah, man, I mean, that's kind of what it is. And I understand your point. I'm not trying to dilute the seriousness of what goes on in this country and the world, and not trying to dilute, your feelings towards it, because you are a loving guy, and I know you wish things were different.
Yeah, I would say, like, I don't mean it on like a big, like, obviously, like you said, you could, like, when people are like, oh, you're not gonna eat that, like, kids in Africa are starving. It's like, first of all, me eating this chicken McNugget not gonna make
ain't gonna push the needle either way.
Kid in Africa, it ain't gonna make him not hungry. So what are we talking about? So, like, I'm with you on that. I'm talking about, like, it's bigger picture, but it still affects us. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, like the gas being $5.37 still fucking affects me.
Okay, so I think selfishly, when I don't leave the house, I'm out here flexing on you guys. Like, oh, I love this couch, bro.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm only in the office 2 days a week, so it's not as bad. But
knock on wood,
still goes. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. So some of this macro shit, obviously, like, all the shootings, like, it haven't happened to us, but it's like, the fact that it's happened everywhere means that, like, everywhere we go, like, we really can't be surprised if somebody tries to shoot that place up. Like, there's no place that you could go to right now where you would be surprised that, like, somebody decided to shoot up. I can't think of, like, IHOP. Like, no, you'd be like, yeah, IHOP shooting. I'm sure there's one fucking somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it does.
That's what
it doesn't bode well for many things. I mean, it's me. I'm a homebody. I'm a hermit crab. Blame the weed. Blame Netflix. I love whatever you want to call it. The convenience of just climate control. I like air conditioning. Like, I don't know what you want to call it. I got my selfish reasons. A lot of people are like, no, you're boring, and that's like, cool. That's more for you, right? However, and maybe that's why they call me Mr. Told You So. But on this very pod, back when we were rocking COVID solid, like the lockdown pods and stuff, and we've been in our homes for months, and motherfuckers were like, well, we can't do this forever. And it's like, all right, I'd rather take this than the stories of when people go places, they die because of mass shootings. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that every day is a mass shooting, but guess what? Every day is a mass shooting.
I mean,
that's what I'm, the
really
facts, bro. Man. That's what I'm like, yo.
But that's the thing too. Like, even being home, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way these rent prices going up, you might be going down to your lease office and somebody like, you know what, got a little fed up,
bro,
with that 30% that 30% increase, decided to shoot up the lease office. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could happen any fucking where. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's some shit that we got to address. But we'll talk more about that.
Facts, man. But, like, that's kind of my tip on it, because I mean, throughout our relationship, you've known me to be the negative one. So I'm like, yo, everything's bad. So if I'm over here like, bro, you got to smile about something. Like, I hope, I'm going to pick up my brother. But, with that, bro, good to be back, man. I did go home. I got back like a week ago, I'd say. Yeah, a little over a week ago, or a little under a week ago. But before that, since we're in between a bunch of pods, in between a bunch of events, the other week, bro, I was broadcasting. Shouts to the football league that I'm at. I've said on the pod before, I got vertigo. It's something that's like kind of new to me ever since the car accident. My experience with it is dizziness, nausea, straight imbalance. I think that's pretty much what it is at random times. To combat it, obviously I smoke weed. I kind of level myself and just kind of lay down. I have a medicine that I take for it. I'm supposed to hydrate, everything that, whatever. Usually I can boss up in times of passion. I love broadcasting, I love podcasting. Like, I want to do this shit full time. So when I was broadcasting, I saw felt some of my dizziness, my vertigo coming on, but I kind of was stubborn. I was like, nah, like I love broadcasting. I don't want to give up for this weak dizziness shit. If it's something I don't care about, work or some place I don't want to be, dizziness, bring it on, baby. You know, like whatever.
Yeah,
So I'm out here trying to fight it. I'm getting stubborn, bro, and it's football, so everything's moving at fucking every second.
super
Yeah,
fast.
yeah. And for those that don't really understand vertigo, it's your brain miscommunicating with your body, and your body's telling it one thing, your brain's perceiving it as another, and in the realm of stability. So you think like you're on flat land, or you think you're seeing like straight ahead of you, but your brain perceives you as moving or possibly spinning. So there's just really no balance. So your brain creates a level point that's not level. So it's just a bad scenario, bro, which is a very out of body experience because your brain does really good job communicating with the rest of your body. You know what I'm saying? But for this, if for some reason it's just a disconnect. So I started getting violently sick, bro. And I'm the head broadcaster, the play-by-play. So, what goes on with me is pretty much my co-host reacts to what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not like you're the one pretty much explaining.
And similar to your Mikal Bridge story or Sue Bird thing that I saw on your Twitter about how like when a lead player is hurt, it's actually more hurtful for the team for him to be out there at 80% because everybody else doesn't step up. They think he's at 100% or whatever it is, right?
They don't know how to play, like, because they only know how to play with him out there. They don't know how to like step up while he's still out there because they expect
100%. Right.
Yeah,
so that what happened. I tried to give it my all, and I was literally at negative 10%, and I was trying to give it everything, and to the point where I now can clock it. Where if if I say any more words, I'm vomiting. Like it's coming out, And the mixers there, the soundboard, the cameras. Like, what am I gonna do? Puke everything? So I mute my mic. I try to run outside and puke real quick. It's not happening. I'm like, fuck. So I come back. I said it on air. I was like, hey, my boy JR is holding me down. I'm really sick right now. Like, it is what it is. And at that point, dude, I puked. And the worst thing is we're on the bleachers, like 20, 30 feet high. I puked off the bleachers, bro. I'm trying to like hide it, but it's like a chain link fence. So it's just going everywhere.
Everybody just seeing.
Luckily, not really, because I was like tucked away in the booth or whatever. But somebody like from down the field saw me, and then they like were like, bro, I can see you getting really sick, like, lay down or some shit. And I was like, nah. And I was like really stubborn, so I kept trying to like fight it and stuff. And at this point, I told like one of the backup broadcasters, like, yo, you're in, like, blah blah blah. And then I'm on the field, and I'm trying to just like, I like walk down, trying to like, maybe if I was on like, the ground.
I feel like, I'm not a vertigo expert. Like, wouldn't the best thing have been to sit down, not walk it off?
You're right, very much so. But at the point in time, I thought because I was up at the bleachers that maybe the height was fucking with me. So I figured like maybe if I go down to the ground level, I'll be straight. And by the time I got to the ground level, I was like way dizzier than before. And then, but what's kind of cool, shouts to my homies, they're all football players and they're familiar with head injuries and head situations and stuff. So one of them was just like, yo, Jesse, you look fucked up, bro. And I was like, nah, like, I'm dizzy. And unfortunately, bro, this is like, and I think you can relate. You know how we make jokes about when we're at the restaurant, Jewish people and black people have to like tip extra to fight that stigma of like, nah, we're not cheap. Watch, that type shit. That's what goes on with these type of like hidden mental situations like vertigo or my anxiety, depression. You feel like you have to explain yourself because it's not visible. So like then you catch yourself sounding even like you sound like somebody that got a bad present and they're explaining themselves like, oh, I know you like hockey, so I got you this hockey, For me, it's like that. I was just like, oh, nah, man, I'm dizzy, but I got this dizziness thing. It's cool, like, and
right. You try to like you don't want to, make it too concerning or whatever.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to tell. Also, that's why I work from home, knock on wood, for good, because I don't want to be that guy at work that's like, hey, look at me. I'm like, I just don't like that. So I tried to kind of, walk it off, kind of get away from people, which is a bad idea because, like, people are here to help type thing, right? Then luckily this lady who's like all these teams have like, they call them like a coach mom. It's just like one of the players' moms that has like the, Band-Aids and tape. And I was just like, she's like the team nurse. And she saw me and she's like, "Oh no, here!" And she gave me a banana, and an orange, and I ate that shit fire. So it was delicious.
I'm about to say, I know if she gave you the like you remember when when you're in school, it's like if you go to the nurse, it don't matter what you had, the nurse
A
will just
bag
give
of
you
I was gonna say a bag of ice, bro. And then what? Dude,
it was always like those shitty like paper towels that don't actually absorb anything. Like it was just like a pack of those with water frozen in a fucking Ziploc. Like, oh, here's an ice pack. It's like, bro, I got a broken arm.
I have a stomach virus. Oh, here's 2 bags of ice.
Here's ice pack.
Yeah, or the kids would bring them back to class and chew on it, and then they would. That's what they would do. But nah, get this. So you're gonna bug. So I got these vertigo glasses, bro. Check out.
Yeah,
I showed you.
You look like you were about to do weird science. Right. No, I saw the Insta story, bro.
This is for the buckets, bro. For the visuals, because y'all asked for it.
This is a visual.
I got.
I'll describe the glasses. They look like once if you just got the first front view, they look like regular glasses, but then you got it's like what do you call the little circle parts of the glasses? It's just like the eye. I don't know.
What do you mean? Oh, the frames. I don't know what
you call it, like there's 4 frames though. Yeah, and there's 2 on the side. And it look like you're about to like do some weird science. That's what it looks like.
My 3-year-old niece said I look like a robot.
Yeah, honestly. So like you like somebody who would step out of like a wormhole, but I'm from the future.
I'm like, bro, it doesn't get any better.
It's like, what's up, bro? I don't get it. So explain to me how do you help, bro? Like what's the mechanics?
If you notice the liquid inside the frames too.
Oh, I did not notice.
Check that out.
It was just like a color. So you have to explain how the hell this works.
So remember how it's liquid in these frames, bro. So check this. The science behind it, and ironically, I'm going to put my other glasses on to explain. The science behind it is, like I was saying, is my brain thinks I'm not level, right? So it needs something that's like objective telling it, like, bro, you're level. So these blue fluids, just like one of those things called a level that you measure with and shit.
Like you would they put it on
it
top
stays level, and it subconsciously tells your brain like, bro, he's equal, and it slows you the fuck down. And no cap, I wore them in the cab the other day, aka a Uber, and they worked, and it was a great conversation starter. And I told the guy like, I was like, you can't make fun of me, bro. Like this is what it is. And then he's like, "Oh, I thought it was like a style thing." I was like, "Nah, I'm not out here looking. I'm not going to a Daft Punk concert." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, nah.
I mean, honestly, the way shit be getting out of like motherfuckers be wearing, it wouldn't surprise me that much,
But honestly, bro, not to be like a victim or like sympathetic or be a sympathy card or a charity case, whatever they call it, is like. Everybody was really cool about it, like at the football game, and nobody was just like, "Oh, that sounds weird, bro." Like none of that. So I will say the stigma tied to any type of things that we can't see is really frustrating. But a lot of it's also like inside of us, just projecting that people are going to be mean. But for the most part, people are nice.
Yeah, no, people don't really usually. I mean, again, you were throwing up. I mean, they didn't see you.
I told them I was like, bro, I probably smell.
Yeah, and I think people think too when they're sick that they don't look sick. Sometimes, or you feel it, but like other people, when you see other people, like, oh yeah, bro, you look like shit. Like, you don't have to explain it, bro. I can see it.
I mean, usually these dudes be like throwing compliments, like, oh, bro, I want to get like you. Today they were like, nah, I don't want to get like you, bro. You out here.
Like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna be real, bro. You don't look like you don't.
You look miserable, bro. So I mean, I don't know if you want to call it vertigo awareness. I was educated on it. It's not technically like a mental. It's more of like a neurotic or neuro something, brain something, whatever. But I'm like, hey, if it's in your brain, it's fucking mental. Fuck out of here.
I mean, but it also could be in your brain physically. So.
Or who is that character in Ninja Turtles where his brain was in the stomach? Crane?
Yeah.
That's physical for sure.
Crane.
That's gotta be physical,
That's
you know? That's a gut feeling.
Yeah. But it could be. I feel like feeling like you're out of balance got to be scary. I know Katie, when she was on a certain birth control, she was getting vertigo for a while, and like it would just like like she'd just be like, you're like, oh man, I'm like super duper dizzy, like, and so it's, I feel like sometimes I could just see that being wild, like scary in the moment. Like, what the hell's going on? I'm about to like fall and pass out or something.
Well,
Like,
and dude, like nausea, like is the worst feeling because you can't do anything. Like you're just like hungover, but I didn't drink. It's like at least let me have the party in front, you know. Like I remember being hungover and be like, I'm never drinking again. But like this is being hungover without drinking. It's not the worst.
Yeah, I'm like, which one you think is like worse? Like if you food poisoning, nauseousness, hangover nauseousness, or just the vertigo nauseousness.
Dizziness.
Which one do you think is the worst? Since you've had all
the
of them.
worst, I would say would have to be motion sickness or vertigo I'm saying vertigo because you don't know when it's gonna end. Food poisoning. Once I throw up, I kind of know the end is near type shit. What was the third one?
Was hangover.
Hangover. Hangover. I can't say is the worst because that's like self-implemented. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, but are you feeling it?
Yeah.
I mean, so is food poisoning.
Yeah. I guess that's true. But like a hangover, like you always pinpoint a hangover. You're like, I shouldn't have chased the Pinnacle vodka whipped cream with the fucking fireball.
Shouldn't have had it at all.
Like you don't like food poisoning. You're like, it could have been those eggs. It could have been this. It could have been that. Well, fucking with dizziness, you're like, what the fuck is it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it hits you. It kind of hits you out of nowhere. I get that because it's like you're not really expecting any of it. At least when you drink, you like, I may get a hangover tomorrow, or like, I guess if you eat food, sometimes you eat something risky. Like yesterday, I had a shrimp and beer battered fish burrito, and I was like, it was good, but I was thinking like, this could obviously come back to haunt me. So that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a risk. Getting seafood from a Mexican spot, like you just never know. In Arizona, you just never
come
know.
back to haunt you. That just makes me think like I would prefer. What if instead of getting food poisoning or nauseous, the food item can come back as like as a person, and you have to fight it. And if you win the fight,
like you ate a shrimp and it just a shrimp just back just like saying shrimp. I don't know if shrimps even make a sound, but it's just like ghost shrimp just like at your head, bro.
Or you eat like like you said wing shortage. You eat wings. You have to fight a bunch of birds. You're like, all right, let's do this, bro. Like or whatever, whatever type of chickens, I guess. Sure.
Right.
But so hug your vertigo friend. Be sympathetic. You know what I'm saying? Balance is key. But so then shouts to that, bro. And then that had me worried because went traveling, went to the motherland, bro. Hour from New York. As we all know, I hate traveling. I hate moving, I hate leaving the house, let alone airport, getting on the plane, blah, blah, blah. This time was...
How is the airport now with the no mask and this and that? Like, I feel like it's a shit show.
So I think like I'm usually good at pinpointing times to when to go to the airport. I'm like kind of bypassing crowds and stuff. This time I went at like the middle of the day, which is also rare for me because usually I'm out what's that called, like at midnight, doing the red eyes or whatever.
Red eye. Yeah.
These were called the bright eyes, daytime.
So it's packed as hell, huh?
But we got in and out. I will say it's always easy leaving Arizona or from Arizona because I live in Phoenix, right by the airport. 10-minute ride, maybe 8 to 10-minute ride. But in the airport itself, dude, like it is what it is, man. Like I feel like masks and people, like it's a crapshoot. There's still half the people wearing them type thing, and then it's like you don't. I assume more than less now are vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers are probably up on that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I still keep my distance. It is what it is. But like some of it you just can't avoid, man. Like, we went to like one of the restaurants. I mean, you can if you just, don't go type shit, but it's like, what's the safest way to ski? Don't ski. Like, all right, well.
Yeah. You definitely like, You definitely did not have to eat in the airport if you were a 10-minute ride away. Like you definitely could
No,
have
that
got some food
well,
beforehand.
see, yes, I agree with you, but I'm also like I'm always so late to the airport. This was I was early. I was like I'm not used to this. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, nah. So the flight out there, bro. As the buckets know, I don't like flying, man. It scares me. Like I just don't understand the dynamics of it, the mechanics of it. You know what I'm saying?
Like how are we doing this? Like how we like this doesn't make any sense. It's just fun. I don't know. It's just funny.
It really does bug me out. It's like an elevator in the sky. It's like, all right, well,
like, you just don't understand. Like you don't understand how it works, so you just can't. But instead of just being like, I mean, obviously I don't know how it
right.
works either. But it's like
But
I just accept it. Like
and
you know what I'm saying. Like I saw something today. They were talking about how did they figure out that like making ridges in a vinyl would be able to record music and like play it back, and everybody's like, I don't who like it just does, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to understand the depths of that. I'm just gonna enjoy it, man.
that's so different,
You know
dude.
what I'm saying?
Vinyl music doesn't fucking travel or like take you places.
No, I know, but I'm just like you think about it, like how does that like a needle into ridges in a material makes sound? That shit don't make no fucking sense. Like who thought of that? Like how do you even figure that shit out works? Like it don't make no sense. Just like the fucking plane being able to just fly makes no fucking sense.
Facts,
Like
dude. And
to your head, to our dumb heads, you
and
know what I'm
my
saying? But it's like,
and
hey,
nobody does me a favor when they sound even dumber like me, because I will say my fears are irrational. But the shit that they say back to me is just as dumb. They'll be like, bro, you don't know how it flies? It's got like wings. I'm like, no, you're just telling me parts of the fucking fly.
Like it's not even flapping. It's like the shit that we know flies. Like it doesn't do anything like that. Like it doesn't like it's not everything we know that flies be like flapping.
Oh my, yeah,
Like
birds carry
fucking
thousands of pounds of people and luggage and shit. Like, fuck
yeah.
out of
It's
here, dude.
like they don't flap. I mean, I guess the thing is like they project it. It I don't know. It
Don't
like goes up into the air
the
and then
engines.
like the propellers just blow the wind underneath the wings to keep it floating. I don't know, man. That seems like the simple explanation.
Sure.
You know.
Well, because of that, I fear turbulence and just that type of stuff. But this time around, I was kind of smacked off like 3 Bloody Marys. I was like, I'm feeling good. I got my little medicine in me. And the turbulence started rocking, and I noticed like I wasn't like feeling like the roller coaster feel as much as like I just was sweating a lot and just getting nervous, like but it was what it was, right? But so we were flying fine, and then at one point he was like comes over the mic and he's like, yeah, so we're gonna be heading over Iowa and there's gonna be some choppy air, so expect some turbulence. And usually they like downplay it, but he's like it should be a little rough for about 30 minutes. I'm like, that's a long ass fucking time. Like 30 minutes, bro. So I realized like once the turbulence started, I was like, cool, but it was doing enough to make me not feel comfortable. And it was like I was watching there was like a TV on my shit, and it just kept like shaking, and that's what like made me uncomfortable. So then I had like a neck pad, and if I put my head down the neck pad, it kind of just like some of the scariness subsided. You know what I'm saying? I just made it felt like sleeping on a bus or something like that, or like something that would just naturally rock. And I'm just like, yo, this is cool. I'm on a bus, or I just tried to think, wherever.
It's funny because it's like obviously a car accident's happening.
I know, but they naturally shake. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that lasted for like 30 minutes. So then even Joelle was like, nah, you handled it pretty well. And she kept like, we sat in different rows, but same like middle seats, but different rows. And
that's
I
wild.
know
I've never heard
sucked.
of like why was that just like
I guess I booked. I guess I booked. I now it was me. I guess I was like, I checked in late, which whatever. I thought I was ahead of. I was like, oh, look at me, I'm gangster. Then it was like none available. It's like fuck.
Hey, both of y'all sit in between complete strangers. That's fun.
Oh yeah, it was funny as shit. Was at one point I caught this amazing like drift of sleep, like, and I felt like, oh, if I could just like ride out with this sleep right now, I bet you I'll fall asleep the whole flight, and then I'll just wake up when we land, right? And as soon as I'm doing that, I could hear the lady to my right go, I need to go to the bathroom. And I was like, nah. Like, it was like the same vibes of like when you have to get up for school and you're like, nah, this position.
And that's that's when it feels. Yeah, you're like,
Oh,
I can go
yeah,
like
I should
that.
have slept like this hours ago. Like, this position rocking, right? And that's what I felt. And I was like, nah. But I just didn't want to be a problem, so I got up. And then luckily the lady next to me was sleeping too. And we both got up and let the girl, go. And then me and her kind of like looked at each other. I said to her, I was like, yo, we should tell her when she gets back that's the last time.
Like, no more pee
no
breaks.
more, bro. I'm glad you got a system, bro.
I don't think I've never peed on a plane. I don't get it. I'm just not drinking like that beforehand. I'm just pissing before we get on the plane.
Yeah, I guess.
And you know what I'm saying? Like if they bring me a drink, I'm waiting until like there's like an hour left or something. I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to do this whole, let me get out and like scooch down the aisle, go in that little ass bathroom.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. Then like if you move, and then I one time like did walk and there was a little turbulence. I was like, oh, never again, fam. I'm out in this bitch like doing the cha-cha. Like,
you imagine you fall. Like, how do you even recover from that? You know?
I'm out here doing the shimmy. I'm out here. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm listening to Lil Uzi. Just the same as my bed. So now we made it there, whatever. Get to New York. Man, our hotel, like, I will say, I love New York to death, but like hotel scenes in New York is wild because it's really just like the apartments. Like, the whole selling point is like, all right, drop your shit off and go outside. You're in the best city ever, blah, 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 right? But like me, I'm like, nah, I like to chill, turn on that Netflix. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What that hitting for? We get there
on vacation.
Facts.
Back home.
And that's another thing. It's like my first time being in a hotel in New York, besides like upstate for like, hockey or like my brother.
Which is completely, I'm sure it's completely
different. Way different. So we check in, and mind you, we just flew. I'm on my petty shit. I haven't smoked yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like just fucking go walk over to my brother's, get smoke, whatever. But I have to check in. I haven't showered. I feel like whatever. And she's like, "Oh, we're actually out of room, so we have to put you in this what they call that, a handicap room or whatever, handicap accessible." And I was like, "All right, well, like, what's the difference?" She's like, "Well, you don't have a bathtub, you just have to walk in shower." I was like, "All right, that's cool." I was like, "But didn't I have a that's whatever."
Yeah, nobody's trying to take a bath.
But but I was like, "What?" I was like, "But didn't we have a reservation?" She's like, "Yeah," but I was like, "But we don't. The rooms are booked." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Then." I was like, reservation means reserve. I was like, what did we reserve then? She's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Joelle was, and I just like caught myself like, it doesn't matter. I was just being like petty. So,
because y'all still got a spot, but then it's like, well, somebody in a wheelchair needs to come in, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my able ass walk out like, yo, where the ice maker?
Yeah. Right. But also, I'm kind of with you. Like, I never understand that when hotels overbook a fucking, like, overbook the rooms, or like a plane overbooks flight or seats. It's like, you niggas know how much y'all got. Like, what you mean you overbooked it? You just stop. Once you hit the number that you have, stop selling the shit. Like,
especially like when I ordered just for the amount, the right amount. Like, hey, I needed one room, so I clicked one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like, you know how many rooms you have. If they all booked up, when somebody tries to book that day, you say, "Oh, all rooms booked up." I don't really.
Yeah, yo, this one time, right, I went to this ice cream shop, and I said, "Can I get chocolate ice cream?" And they said, we don't got no more. I was like, all right, because what happened was they stopped selling it once the motherfuckers took it all.
And like, they can't be like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you a chocolate ice cream," and then 10 minutes later, like, "Oh shit, you know what? I forgot we sold it. So like, here's a strawberry." And it's like, what? And like, nah, give me my money. Like, you already paid. I'm sorry. Like, like, what?
So we get to the hotel, or we get in the hotel, and like, it was kind of like the sheets were kind of dirty or whatever. And I did the thing, which is kind of my move now. And maybe I'm just petty.
You check for bed bugs?
No, but even if I do, you know what my move is, bro? Which is like, I think it's just a comfort thing. I put my hoodie over the pillow and I sleep on my hoodie. I'm just like, because I know that's comfort to me. You know, I don't got to worry about no.
What's that? What that? I don't be doing that at hotels. I just be trusting it because I'm like, you know, you got people who clean it, but I hope.
I don't.
I was like, as long as you're not like a Motel 6 or
See,
something, man. Like, where were
I'm
y'all
just, I'm worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying? I be watching too many like YouTube horror stories. They're like, they don't clean the sheets and shit. So I'm like, nah. I'm just rocking. I sleep on top of the shit with the hoodie on my pillow. So I'm like, oh, that smell like za. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Like I recognize the smells and stuff. It's kind of like a puppy. You know, they like their blankets.
Disinfect the whole place.
Yeah, but whatever. Nah, so I just did that, but then we told them that it was dirty, and they kind of did a clean, like, and we came into the room. There's like mad fresh towels and shit. I was like, all right, this looks clean now, so we good. So that we finally got our new room or whatever. It was cool. But man, Brooklyn, New York, all love, bro. The first night we got there, it was midnight. I was like, yo, this bodega is right, literally next door. So we go to this bodega. They had chopped cheeses, which for the buckets, and even my homie, one of my homies, Danny, bro, he lives back home. He didn't know what a chopped cheese was.
You didn't know? How did you not know?
Didn't know. So hamburger meat chopped up with cheese, peppers if you want, onions, ketchup, mayo, salt, pepper, fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's pretty much just like a you know, sans the ketchup, but it's just like a New York Philly cheese.
Yeah, and the ketchup, honestly, I wasn't really hit for the ketchup at first, but then it mixed with the mayo well, and I was like, all right, I'll rock with it.
Yeah, because I mean, you just eating a burger.
Yeah, the burger chopped up. Yeah, on a roll. Yeah. So it was fire, dude. And Joelle had it. She's like, oh wow, that is fire. So we had that, and then like, just so funny because like, Joelle was like, I'm so happy you were here because like, you know how to speak bodega, like I don't. Like, so for example, Poppy was he was just, you know, singing to himself and like complaining and stuff, and like that's what it is. Like usually they're talking to themselves, and then if you can pick up their vibe, they'll like, you know, just, and you just got to catch on to their conversation, right? So he said something about being tired. I was like, go home, bro. I'll work for you. And he's like, yeah, you come work back here. I go sleep. And I was like, all right, bro, give me the keys or whatever. And Joel was like, you guys just met. Like, how are you talking to him like that? And I was like, that's really what it is, you know? And then he's like, hold on. And he pulled out his phone and he told me how like I look like his son. And he showed me, a picture of his son and stuff. And then Joelle was like, she's like, we just got off the plane less than an hour ago, and you've already met this guy's family. I was like, this is Brooklyn, baby. Yeah. So like, that's like, to me, when people say like, what's New York like what's the love, like, what's the people like that's my idea of it, you know? It's like organic. It's like, he was mad cool. Like, even the transactions, to give people an idea, like this like kid walked in and he's like, you have rolling papers? And he busted out a type, and he's like, no, I don't like those. And then the guy was like, what do you want? And the way that they talked, you were gonna think that they were fighting, but he genuinely was like just trying to help. And he's like, what do you want? Like, I'll get you, you know? And he's like, I don't like raw papers. And he's like, all right, you like easy widers? And he's like, good. And then they were all love, you know?
I mean, I think that's funny, but it's like, you know, also like, you can't just be like, come in, let me get rolling paper, and then have the guy just like guess what you want. Like, nigga, what do you like?
Names them.
Don't tell
There's
me what
a million.
Like, tell me what you
right,
want.
Dude. There's 1,000. And then
like, you obviously smoke, so you obviously know which ones you like. Like, what are we doing?
And then like it was just so funny because then like just like the things people do, like and then we were at and then because the dude was showing me pictures of his kids, he wasn't paying attention, and you know how there's always the dude in the back making the sandwiches. He gave me the sandwiches, and then I walk out, and then we just hear someone yell like "yo" and like waving back at us. I
didn't pay.
No, we got their food. So we walked back, and then he apologized because you know, he gave us the wrong food or whatever. And Joel was like, you just trusted that guy that said, yo, come over here? I was like, yeah, I mean, I kind of, you know, I knew the numbers were in our favor. Like, we went to the bodega. It was back to the bodega. It was like, whatever. And it was just so funny because it ended up being that dude's food. I was like, oh, my bad, bro. I took your shit. And then, so it was all good, man. So that was the first night. And then we went back, smoked. It was whatever. So that was Thursday night. Or my bad, we went to my brother's place, smoked, and then went back, slept. And then Friday was like a kind of like a free for all day. We're gonna meet up. I hooked up with my boy Stanley. He just moved to New York. Joelle has a friend that's out in New York that just moved. She went out and met up with her. We're chilling, having a good time. Mind you, the main event for this trip was Sunday, Emmy's birthday party. You know what I'm saying? I hired ft.Big to be there in the flesh. It was at a gymnasium. It was going to be a big deal. Whatever, right? Halfway through the day Friday, I get a call from my sister. It's never good news when I get a call from anybody, let alone my sister. And she's like, all right, bad news. Emmy got exposed to COVID. There was a girl at her school that tested positive, and her parents sent the kid back a pending COVID test instead of a failed COVID, or instead of a pass.
Wow.
Right. Kind of like not my problem thing, even though it's like purely her problem. So my sister, being a scientific, a research scientist and stuff, extra careful and a good mom and a good person, was like, well, I'm not going to have a bunch of other kids exposed to Emmy, and I'm not going to have you guys. So she's like, I don't even think you guys should come over, blah, blah. I was like, yo. And I was like, respectfully, I paid thousands of dollars to be here. I understand COVID's a thing, but like, I'll risk it. Like, I'm vaccinated. Like, I'll risk seeing Emmy. I understand you can't have the party, but I'm still seeing my niece type thing, And she's like, yeah, I understand, but I don't think, we can't have the party or whatever. She's like, well, can you try and get the ft.Big to like my house instead? I was like, all right, let me call. So I'm calling. I'm trying to, I go back and I tell, Joel and Stanley what happened, and I'm really bummed. And this is what's funny is like Stanley starts hitting me with all the positive things, like, hey, bro, you can't get mad at things you can't control, man. Like, it's out of your control. And like, at least you'll see your niece and she'll have her birthday and she's okay. And like all these things. Right. And I'm like, you're right. And he's like, things will go on. I know it sucks, but things will go on. Mind you, he's ready to take a trip out to Miami this night or that night. And he caught up with me early in the day to just like, drink with me during the day and hang out or whatever, do some Bloody Marys, as y'all saw. And he's trying to give me the positive. He's like, you can't control it, bro. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. He's hitting me with all that shit, right? And then he's like, but hold on. He gets an email, and his flight gets canceled. And I was like, oh, what's up, bro? It is what it is. You can't control that. I need the positivity.
Man.
Where's that at? And he laughed. He's like, fuck, you're right. You can see in his face, like, all right, I gotta embody this, So then he's like, fuck, I got to call Spirit Airline to see if I can reschedule. I was like, all right, you do that. I'm going to call ft.Big, see if I can reschedule. So I'm out in the middle of the street talking to ft.Big. He's out in the middle of the street talking to Spirit Airline. Joel's like, I'm going to go meet up with my friend. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm like, yeah. So we're handling this shit. I get ft.Big rescheduled. We're going to do a backyard party for my niece, right? So we continue on that night. It is what it is. Saturday is a day I was gonna go hang out with Emmy, just like on some chill shit, whatever. We go there, man. It's awesome. Emmy was excited as fuck to see me. She was like showing me all her toys, just like didn't skip a beat. Like, we're real homies for sure. Flat out, we homies. So yeah, Saturday was cool. We were gonna sleep at my sister's house, man, but I love my sister to death. But her place is like it's not welcoming for if you're not in her bubble type thing. So I just didn't want to put Joel through that, or I didn't want to sleep there type thing and know that like we had to go to bed at like 8:00 at night or like whatever it is. So I was like, nah, So instead, me and Joel took a midnight train back to Brooklyn, and instead
to Georgia.
We what's that called? We did we went to a restaurant in Huntington, my hometown. I was gonna say we did like a sample, kind of walked around, but Joel was so tired we stayed out till like 3-4 in the morning the night before, and traveling and just like the emotional exhaustion being around my family, bro. She was just drained, and unfortunately she got sick. Like, she's sick now. Like, she don't have COVID or nothing, but she's sick with just like run down and just like jet lag or whatever it was. Like, she's better now though. But I was like, it's cool, man. We'll get you back to the hotel. So we get back to the hotel, man. I was like, is it cool if I go to my brother's house and smoke? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So when we get back to the hotel, bro, she said that there was blasting music till 3 a.m.
Damn.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I can't. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. So then when I got back, they were done because I stayed at my brother's till like 3 or something. And my brother lived really close to where we were staying. It was literally like 10-minute walk. So it was cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
I asked the front desk, and she's like, yeah, like your girl is down here, like complaining about not complaining, but asking us to turn the music down and stuff. She's like, it's kind of hard. It's like they own that side of the building or whatever it was. And she was laughing because I was making cool with everyone there. And she's like, but if you were down here, I bet you would have been turning up like, eh. I was like, yeah, whatever. So that was that night.
That's funny.
Fast forward, Saturday night. Mind you, we got to go then Sunday. The plan was to get to my sister's by 2:00, take like an 11:50 train or whatever it was. We fucked up a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't set an alarm. Like I said, Joel wasn't feeling good, so we overslept. Bro. Damn, my fucking mustache issues. Fuck. We overslept. You know that feeling, where you're sleeping, and you have that feeling of like, damn, I've been sleeping longer than like I should be. Like.
Yeah, you could tell. Like, I feel like this is I'm getting too good.
Yeah, my alarm should have been going off by now. Then you look, it's like 3 hours later. So
like,
I wake up to Joelle text being like, babe, your mom texted us. It's 12:30. I was like, oh, she's going to text us at 12:30? She's like, no, like it's 12:30 now. Mind you, we had to take like an 11 o'clock train. I was like, fuck. So now I'm like panicking because like I already know I'm going to hear an earful from my family. I got to scramble to get this Peppa Pig to the house. I got to fucking figure out if I'm going. Joelle felt like shit. Like she was like dead, like near puking and so she's like, I can't go. So I was like, fuck. So I'm juggling all this, bro. So I gotta call Peppa Pig. I called Peppa Pig. I'm like, hey, can you push it back an hour? From 2 to 3. And he's like, no, we have a contract. Like it is like, sorry. And I was like, come on, man, you can't push it back 1 hour. He's like, no, we already have a bunch of Peppa Pigs scheduled today. I was like, how many Peppa Pigs are out there? And I'm arguing with this guy back and forth. And then this is where I called him an asshole because he's like, you should have let me know before. I was like, I am letting you know before, asshole. And he's like, well, all right, you don't have to curse at me. I'm canceling your party. And I was like, nah. So then he cancels my shit, or he like hangs up the phone. And I was like, fuck. So I keep calling, and he keeps screening my call. He won't answer. I was like, fuck. So I have 2 phones. So I call again from a different phone.
Wow.
And this is kind of funny, bro. Instead of manning up and apologizing, I pretended to be somebody else. Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
So I call him and I was like, "Hey, are we still good for Peppa Pig at 65 Avenue? And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay." I apologized for my cousin earlier. I think he was upset about something, but as long as we're still good. And he's like, no, we're good. And I was like, all right.
Wow. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, it's me, my bad?
Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. It was wild. Like, you definitely was spazzing on dude. Because you was late. Talking about you can't put like, no, bro. Anybody tell your ass to get up late? Set it alarm.
Dude, I legit, all my fault. I took all my anger out on him solely. 0% accountability on my end. So I'm like, all right, fuck you. Not a little. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I should have asked, can I pay to extend it? You know what I'm saying? Instead of move it back.
Yeah, that probably would have made way more. Instead of pressing him like, hey, bro, I fucked up, so I'm going to need you to do me a solid. You can't? Fuck you. like what? Like, you can't. Your time can't be important. You a Peppa Pig. Like, bro. Just put the fucking mask on. Yeah, bro. You put the fucking little suit on. And you make these kids laugh.
And if you take your helmet off once, we're shooting the fair ones, bro. So I swear to God. So I'm like, fuck, dude. And Joelle was like, you're ridiculous. So she listened to the whole thing. She's like, my cousin. She's like, you're ridiculous.
He probably knew too. He probably was like, man,
My cousin. Like, why the fuck? Why the fuck would my cousin be like in my room right now? Like,
yeah. He probably is like, yeah, it's the same dude, but whatever. I'm just gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't apologize. I'm just gonna take the money. As long as, you know, I ain't actually have to change anything, it's all good.
Dude, so then
That's wild.
they're like, you're gonna get a phone number, get a phone call from like, you know, the guy playing Peppa to confirm. I get a phone call from Puerto Rico. I'm like, the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Peppa.
I mean, yeah,
Puerto Rican Peppa, bro.
one of them New Yorkers.
So, so unfortunately, I didn't get there in time, bro. I missed out Peppa, and
I mean,
it wasn't for me anyway. So,
yeah.
So I took instead of fucking taking the train, which would have taken shorter time, but because I had to wait for the next train, it technically would have been longer. But
I took an Uber.
I took an Uber, which is my.
I bet that bitch was a hundo.
How
much was
200?
Woo! That hurt.
And
I can feel the pain. That's
so what
I feel like this trip had to be expensive. Bro.
It was, but so then.
Oh man,
it pains me to say. Nah, so I did that, and luckily, man, this is a bright side. I didn't get nauseous at all. It's only a 30-mile trip, but because it's New York shit, every mile is like forever. So, and it was Memorial Day weekend, so like everything was like not on my side. So I finally get there, bro, and it's dope because it was all worth it. Because when I get there, Emmy starts running up to me and she's like, Jesse, Peppa Pig was at my house. And I was like what? Word? What? And she's like, yeah. She Peppa Pig playing with my toys. We danced. Like she was legit telling me like when like you're at a party and you just missed the homie, bro. Like blah blah. Yeah, that's exactly how she was telling me. Like, yo, you wouldn't believe it. We danced, we clapped. She gave me a high five and a hug. I was like, nah, you bugging. Like,
yeah, I definitely would have gassed her. Like, come on, bro, Peppa Pig's a TV character.
I was like, bro, Peppa Pig's yo, and she's like, yo, I did Papa, right? And he's like, yeah, Peppa Pig was here. I was like, damn, I can't believe that, you know. And she was so hyped, like, yeah, like it's whatever though. Me and Peppa.
Yeah, like we just cool, we chill.
Yeah, she's like can't wait to stunt on her friends at school to be like, yo, like Peppa Pig was at the spot. But yeah, so the Peppa did a great job, bro. Emmy loved it, man. It was a home run, man. So the only thing I fucked up, I overslept or whatever, but yeah,
and almost fucked up the Peppa
almost
Pig.
Lost the Peppa Pig, bro. That would have been I would have been so crushed if that happened, dude. And they would have been like, "What happened?" I'd be like, I called him an asshole." Like,
but, you know, that's cool. You got to go home. It sucks that obviously people getting sick. I saw somebody say like every time they fly or whatever they get sick, so it's like even more crazy people are not out here with the mask. So it's like you get between the jet lag.
Yeah, luckily, knock on wood, I'm good.
It's like it's just wild. Hopefully you good, bro. I mean, it could just be, something specific to people.
But yeah. So to fast forward, bro, yeah, that was the trip mainly, dude. I love my niece to death. Like, I think I'm a badass uncle. I think it's easy, to be one as long as you care type thing. And I really enjoy the bond I have with my niece, and she like, it's organic, man. And then shouts to my brother-in-law, bro. I can't thank him enough. He bought me the Kayvon Thibodeau jersey.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Giants draft pick, man.
I probably would, I'm one of the people, I'm waiting on getting draft pick jerseys because you just don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't ask for it type of shit. So what am I supposed to say? Like, yo, give this back.
Yeah, you can't. Like, yeah, bro, I need an established player.
Get me this once he signs a contract, all right?
yeah, like let me know how many sacks he has first. Like I need.
And luckily, man, if he's like straight hand, he kept his whole career, So that's kind of the whole projection for this guy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not even talking about him like leaving. I'm talking about just like you don't even know if he's gonna be good yet. You know what I'm saying? You have no clue.
Nah, yeah, it was just. But honestly, he said it was a token of he loves how much I am uncle to his daughter, and he thinks that I'm such a good uncle, and he loves that I put forward such an effort and. To him, it was a token of his appreciation. So I was like, oh man, that's even. I mean, that's cool, that's even cooler. So for me, people talk about love languages and stuff. I think mine would be acknowledgement. I could say for sure, like I love being acknowledged, not for
the things you
not
do.
for the things I do, but things I'm passionate about. Like as long as people say like,
Okay.
"Oh, you care about that," I notice that. Not like, "Oh, cool shirt." Like I don't care about the
Yeah.
surface shit. I care about like if I put my heart into it, and someone's like, "I could see you care."
And people
I
recognize
like
it.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
That's
shouts to you, bro-in-law. Shouts to New York, man. I love it. But I'll keep it real. I'll keep it a buck. We live out here. I live out here. The weather is A1. Like the weather sucks in New York. I love New York, bro. But humidity is.
You went there at a decent
I
time too. Oh
know.
yeah, that's the only
It's
thing. You don't
trash.
realize it. It's like it's hot here, and like I know we always do the dry heat, and it still sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like once you on them 110s, like you feel like you in the oven. Like it's garbage, but like it ain't none. It still don't touch like 85 with like 60% humidity or 70, and it's just like you're just sweating buckets. And you just because it's like not only are you hot, you feel
Dude,
gross. Like you feel gross and
disgusting.
sticky.
And then like
Sweating through all it fits and shit. Like you can't
dude.
really get a fit all right.
No, dude. And then
You know what I'm saying?
Shamel, shouts to the homie.
Especially if you like me, fat nigga. Like so you got the fat nigga rag and you got to wipe yourself off every. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
too
want a
much.
rag, bro. I would
You know
love
what I'm
that.
saying? You can't now. You're not big enough. You got to hit a certain weight to have a
I'm
rag.
working
Bro.
towards
I'm
it then.
sorry.
Fuck that, bro.
I got to gatekeep the rag, bro.
I'm with it, bro. I want to get big enough to be like, what's your goal? So I can have a rag in the summertime. So my boy
Yeah.
Shamel linked up and like even the littlest shit we like. I had like a joint. I was like, you got somewhere I can smoke this or whatever, and we went in the back of his apartment and we're just standing still and I'm dripping bullets and he's like, damn, you're really going through it. Like you're sweating. And I'm like, yeah, but like, what can I do about it? Like, I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand if we were hooping.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll chill. Like, I was standing still and it was horrible. So I was like, yeah, this ain't for me no more. Like, unless I can rock my tanks and shorts everywhere I go, even in the winter, I can see myself doing that shit. It gets so fucking hot, bro. In the subway too, like, that's another thing is the drastic. Even in the winter, it could be brick 10 degrees, right? But then you go down the subway and they got the shits up to 100, the heaters and stuff, and then you're like, yo, I'm fucking hot as shit now. I just went from 10 degrees to 100. Like, come on, bro.
I think the other thing too is like back in New York, like nobody like air conditioning is not like it's like some people have it and some people do. Like it's not a frequent thing. So it's like you just be everywhere sweating and shit. Like you be and like if you staying somewhere that don't got AC, like you're just sweating through the night.
It's
And
the
it's
worst.
like all
And when you're on vacation, even though it's New York, I'm living through a suitcase, so all I have is whatever I have. So it's like if my shit's sweaty, I gotta like either wait to do rock it out, or like I'm already a sweaty dude.
Unless you're an overpacker.
I'm an underpacker, bro.
Yeah, you don't strike me as an overpacker. You're like, oh shit, I brought one. I didn't pack any sneakers. I'm rocking what I got.
I brought one sock. They're like, one pair. I'm like, no, literally one sock, bro. Like,
no, literally one sock.
I wish I had one. One sock, 3 sneakers. But not so. I love New York to death. It's not just New York. Anywhere with humidity, y'all can get it. Not me though. Like I just,
which is everywhere. It's like everywhere, but like,
dude. And the dry heat thing, like I keep it a buck, bro. Like today's what 100, probably 105 or some shit. We walked to the brunch spot. I had a t-shirt and shorts, and it was hot, but nothing like New York, bro. Nothing how hot. So I love New York, bro, but. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to turn the humidity off, or once I'm rich, I'll become a snowbird. I'm down to do that. Buy like 2 spots and bounce back and forth, but I can't live there, bro.
Those days though, where it's just like randomly 70, fire though, like 75.
But you don't plan for it, and you're like, oh, what are we doing though? Yeah,
you just chilling, bro. Let's hit the park or something. We should grill out. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it's for the random moments. Yeah, nah, for sure. But it was raining one of the days there, which I love.
Or if it just rained, yeah. The rain is cool, but then once it stops raining, humidity is back wild. And
So
makes it worse.
But like, I love just the oddity of New York. Like, that's the one thing is like my family still gives me shit about the things I wear, but I'm like, yo, you guys live in the mecca of like, uniqueness. Like
people wearing wild
bro.
stuff,
like I saw this dude. Like shouts. I'm all for like whatever. I saw this dude
I was about to say, and you was there during Pride, but
Bro,
nah, you
I
wasn't
saw
doing
this
that.
dude as butch as Peter Griffin rocking this sundress. I was like, he looks good. Fuck him. Like, fuck with it, bro. I don't care. Yeah, like good for him, bro. And then she was, and then it was just also like the oddities in New York. Like, I bought Emmy these little pins that you can put on your backpack. And right next to it, he's like, "Yo, what up, bro? I got these 5 for $7 or 7 for $5." I was like, "All right, I got you." So I got 7 pins for $5, and then right next to it, he's like, "You what up, bro? You want a baby turtle?" And I was like, "Nah,
like,
I'm
nope.
good on the baby turtle, bro." He's like, "But I got you 4 months of food for free, bro." I'm like,
Like, oh, now I definitely don't want it.
I was like, I can't bring
the
I can't bring the turtle on the train, bro. He's like, "Oh, facts, B, facts."
Like, bro, how is I okay? Like, what? Like, what are we doing?
So
man?
then, just to cap it off, bro, the
funny.
plane ride home, though, I will say, was exactly how a plane ride should be. It was up in the air, no rockiness, down, see ya. Like, felt like an
you had a straight
yeah,
flight?
just elevator in the sky,
you
just
know
up,
yeah, of course
boom,
you did.
see ya. Like, there's no
You had a straight flight there,
yeah,
didn't
and there
you?
was no
Too.
turbulence, not even like a get ready for it. Up, see ya, down. I was like, hey, bro, you should be the pilot for all of them. Like, you do with this.
That's not. I think it just there wasn't any choppy air, bro. That's
Nah, if I see choppy air,
I
I
can
blame
show
the
that.
pilot. I'm like, oh, you new to this.
Yeah, the pilot.
Oh, I thought you had your
damn.
wings and shit. I didn't know we had a rookie.
Like, I'm sorry. You couldn't just go around it. Like, you see the air. Why don't you just go? Like, you telling me we about to
Like,
hit
hey,
it?
helmet,
Like,
is that out of bounds or something? Like, you got plenty of real estate.
Do you fly the plane or the plane fly you? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up? Are you the co-captain or are you like Captain Junior?
Like, I don't know about you, but when I'm driving and I see a pothole, I move out the way. So I don't get it.
But
I'm a little
that's
lost
me.
on what you do.
You know what I'm saying? You the captain though.
But nah, I get you.
You the captain.
Yeah, you supposed to be.
You
know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm with you. Obviously I enjoy that. I like straight flights, but unfortunately the problem with living in Western New York is like there's never any straight.
Yeah, what
flights,
airport do you guys go to?
Yeah,
you go to JFK?
Like, you mean no? Sometimes our flights, I've had it where we have a layover in Chicago. I think last time our layover was in Chicago. We sometimes our layovers in New York City, and it's like funny because it's like, well, we're going past where we live, pretty much where we live or where we want to go to New York, and then we hop on like a 40-minute flight.
I guess that's true.
Upstate, yeah, like Jesus, and then sometimes I think Philly. I've been on one to Philly. There's been times where it's like layovers are in Atlanta or North Carolina, but I think I've only done North Carolina once, and then Atlanta. Like when I'm booking it, I see it, but I don't think I've ever actually been. But it's like that's what like I've been to New York City, but I haven't I've never explored New York City. Like I've been in fucking JFK.
Yeah.
Like that don't really
well, I was gonna say, if you okay, I was gonna say how long? Because a drive from JFK to where you're Rochester would be like what, 5 hours, 6 hours?
Yeah,
I'm saying because I was asking the Uber driver because I think my new move is flying into Newark, New Jersey. Because at first I thought it was gonna be a dumbass drive from Brooklyn to Jersey, but it was only like 40 minutes, and we saved like $400 flying into Jersey. So I think that's the new move. And then even going back, it was only like 40 minutes to get to Jersey, and
But what the only thing is like rental cars are expensive.
What do you mean rental cars?
How did you drive? Who's driving you from New York to?
We took a
Newark to New
Lyft
York
or Uber.
How much is that Lyft or Uber? $200, $300?
No, it was only like 50. It was like $60 the way there, and then on the way back it was like 50, 60. Yeah, so pretty expensive, but nothing crazy. But still cheaper than $400 to fly into JFK. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I bought 2 tickets, so 400 times 2, 800. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm saying that's the move. You fly into Newark. And you get, maybe at max $100, but you're still saving 5 or 6 on the ticket, or 3 or 4 on the ticket,
Yeah.
So that's the move or whatever. But then I was gonna say that's what I was curious because I asked my Uber driver what was the farthest he drove. He said from New York he went to Maryland, which is about 4 hours.
That's crazy. Who the hell's doing that? Like, get on a train, dog. What?
I mean,
What? Get on an Amtrak. Get on a bus. What are you like? What are you doing?
a bus would probably be like 8 hours because the stops and stuff. So
Yeah, but
4 hour
I'm just
just
like,
direct ride.
that's
I mean, I asked how much it was. He said it's 500. I was like, nah, $500 for
no.
unless you like baller.
You could probably get a flight from New York to Maryland for less than that.
You know when you would justify that if it was like a company trip and they made you pay, like you have to spend a certain amount.
Oh yeah, so you just expense that
Yeah,
bitch.
you're like,
Yeah,
fuck, I'll do
yeah.
it.
Okay, now I
You
get
know what I'm
that.
saying?
100% get that.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, what's the most convenient for me? I don't give a fuck about how much it costs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
That's
I'm
the type of
saying?
shit.
Like, so okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Obviously, I'm not there, but you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah, I'm not
but
down there.
so
See, I guess if you travel for work or whatever, but then it's
yeah.
like you're not even. It's not even because you're like you don't care because it's like I'm not about to inconvenience myself because you're like I'm not going to do some shit I want to do any goddamn way. So
Yeah. So
it's kind of hard to pivot from this to like us talking about the gun control
nah,
shit. We don't
I,
we don't got to dive too
nah. I
deep.
mean,
I feel like people know where we
yeah,
stand.
we know
on
where
this
we
shit,
stand, but
you
a
know what I
good
mean?
pivot just to say, like, obviously, you know, I had to take my shoes off at the airport because it was a rule, right? And since the airport,
Yeah,
there's been less shoe bombs on a fucking plane. So to transition with that, yeah, like you were saying,
I mean, there weren't very many shoe bombs anyway, but
but
but yeah, which just makes it
you
even
know
wilder.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I guess to cold transition. Yeah, no, I mean, I think on wax, me and Ty pretty unison with the gun. I don't even know where Ty stands on like guns themselves. Honestly, I don't think I've ever asked you.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I don't like in terms of if you got like a handgun or whatever, like for home protection, like I'm cool with it. Like if you want to just go to the gun range and like shoot guns or whatever, like it's whatever. Like you're not really hurting nobody doing that, but like I just don't like the excessive shit. I don't understand. Like you know what I'm saying. Like the assault rifles or whatever, because like people say those shits aren't even good for hunting. Like obviously you got a gun to hunt, like cool, like you just hunting. Like I'm not a hunter. I'm not on the like killing animal shit, but like I understand like it like plays a role in society because like fuck deer. You know what I'm saying? They fucking suck. So like if you want to shoot deer, I don't give a shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like go ahead. Like all they do is like run into the road and like fuck up motherfuckers' cars.
I
Sure.
can't fuck with
You know
any
what I'm saying?
animal
Like
that if there's plural, they're the same thing, bro. Fuck deer. Fuck all of
yeah,
them.
fuck
Fuck
deer.
two deer.
That's
Yeah.
fucking fine. But it's like people don't use these like crazy guns that we like the same gun we keep seeing in these mass shootings. They don't use that shit for hunting. Like it's literally just there because the motherfuckers like them because they fun to shoot. That's literally all they serve. Like they're not like other than killing people. Like they motherfuckers just think they're cool. Like and that's it. Like I wish these people would just admit that instead of try to like sell it's like oh it's for protection or like it's for this and that. Like nah man, you just like guns or for whatever reason whether you're like trying to overcompensate for something, or you really just think they cool, like, which is not even like everybody thinks random shit is cool. I'm not even gonna get on you for thinking that something's cool, like, but like you gotta admit to yourself that like liking Pokemon is not killing people, like you know what I'm saying, like there's levels to that shit, so like you might think it's cool, but you don't have to think that like motherfuckers should be able to get that shit when they're 18 and like go out and like buy another one the next week and then a whole bunch of bullets like that. You know what I'm saying? That should probably like set off alarm bells somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we should have these things in place. Like I to me, I could take it or leave it because I don't have a gun. I know the statistics are the if you have a gun in your house, you're more likely to use that shit on yourself than you are ever to like somebody. Because like how many people actually breaking into houses like that? Like do you know somebody who's had their house broken into or like you know what I'm saying?
What
Like who wasn't like something
by
like
accident
I know people who got their
in
house broken
college?
into, but it's like yeah, like I know people got their house broken into, but it's like motherfuckers that like there's a reason. Like, oh, you it's a trap house? Like, yeah, that might happen to you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like but like random ass people, like that's very few and far between. Like then somebody come in my house and they just take like they're not coming into your house to murder your family. They're coming in the house to get your TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really need to like whip out the like, the Glocky on them every time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and most people got renters or home insurance, so it's like somebody steals your TV, you literally would get the money back for it. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's all like so I can see you don't really need it, and it's kind of a detriment. But even if you boil it down to like, okay, you can have a gun, like a handgun, and you keep it in a gun safe, even though that's crazy because it's like if somebody came in with a gun, now you got to go beat boot bop a fucking gun out of a safe to like, what I'm saying, like quick draw McGraw motherfuckers. Like it might be a rap by then, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like a
And
voice
you can't just
active
keep it
and
next
shit.
to
He's like,
you.
"Can you get out of the room, please?"
Yeah, you
Boop
can't.
beep bop.
Yeah, like hold on. Somebody break in and they come in with the gun. You like, hold on, I got something for your ass. You gotta go to the closet. You like pull it down, hit the numbers. Like fuck, whose birthday is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then by then it's a fucking rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I like, but you obviously you can't just have that shit chilling. You can't just I got the gun in a
Under my
fucking
pillow,
nightstand.
yeah.
Cause then it's like, you know what I'm saying, you might roll over and shit get wicked, or like kids can find it, which happens all the fucking time in America. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, both options not really great. So it's like you might as well just chill with a bat or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like kind of is what it is at this point. So, but even in in general, like washing that away, it's like there's really no reason for like the assault rifles that all this shit happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no real justification for it. So I just don't understand why we keep. I mean, I know why we keep doing this. There's like there's a simple explanation for it. I just don't know why anybody would ever like argue against it. But
Well, like,
because we all know why we're in this predicament. Like it's the motherfuckers with the money. Like,
oh yeah,
NRA got a lot of money and they just pay off the politicians. And the cycle for everything is good for them. These mass shootings are good for them, which is morbid as
I
shit.
know.
But it's like when it happens, motherfuckers just buy guns because they think they're gonna be taken away, even though they're never, we're never actually do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they just pay off more politicians to never introduce any of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just wild. It just sucks.
And unfortunately, what sucks is like, I think I talked about this during the Trump years. Is like the shit he says is similar to like these gun conversations, like things that people say. I wouldn't accept them on a 1-to-1 level, and we try to solve these problems from a mass level. And then people want to have like these individual conversations.
Yeah, they like you talking about a big problem, and they like hit you with like small things. Like, what about Chicago? It's like, what the
Yeah,
fuck that
or even if
they're like Chicago got strict gun laws. It was like, yeah, but they right next to Indiana. Like they literally just got to drive 2 hours to get a gun for like what do you mean? Like it's pretty obviously
right.
obvious
So
what
the shit that
problem
they
is.
say doesn't add up to. So it's like
Yeah.
these anecdotal or individual stories, and that's why I don't accept that with anything. When people are like, "Listen, on the big scale, I don't like Black Lives Matter, but let's have a conversation. I'll explain to you." It's like, no, I don't want time out. It's
Like
same with the guns
like it's
thing.
too late.
It's same with the guns thing. So it's like
Yeah.
when people are like, and if I say, hey, like it's just so many levels. Yeah, like sports, man. The helmet hockey, like they used to let you play without the face visor. Then
That's fucking
people got
insane.
hurt, so now you have a face visor. And I'm sure there's a preference, but there's also like a concession of like, yeah, I know it's more dangerous, but I liked it. You gotta like nobody can. I mean, I do have level-headed friends, and I said that earlier. Was like, if there are people that be like, yeah, they're dangerous as fuck. I wouldn't say everybody should have one. Like, I wouldn't say that at all.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing. Most people are in agreement.
Yeah.
Like most people want like the common sense, like background. Like, oh yeah, a crazy person shouldn't be able to get this. An 18-year-old like should like. I think there's like even a recording of Trump saying like why you got to be 21 to get a handgun, but 18 to get an assault rifle. Does that make sense to you all? Like Trump said this. I mean, he didn't end up doing anything.
Yeah, because he got
about
talked
it,
out
but,
of
like,
it, which is bad.
Yeah. But it's like even like it doesn't take like every like regular gun owners who like believe in the gun safety are like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like it's
and also like solution oriented. Like I don't believe in maybe I don't have all and me and you don't have all the answers, but I will no longer accept like nothing. Like it's like Chipotle when they have the recall of the lettuce, they recall the lettuce. They don't just say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. You know what I'm saying? They at least take an action. They at least, and that's my shit.
Right, you gotta at least do something.
At least.
Like and I feel like when Sandy Hook happened, like people at that point, because it's like, unfortunately, the last two shootings, like you know how white people are in this country. Like they can, they can ignore it. Like the black people in the grocery store, like that was very quickly drowned out, obviously, because little
Yeah, or
kids, and it
the
sucks
church
because
killing
it's like
Roofer.
all life sucks. Like all life being taken is garbage. Whether you're 7 or you're 68, like if you get you supposed to go on your own terms, bro. Nobody should be taking you out at like a fucking grocery store. Like that shit is disgusting. Like obviously, it still hits different because it's kids, but like at the end of the day, it's all the same. You know what I mean? So like that's somebody's grandma that should have been there for the Memorial Day cookout that wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So but like so that gets drowned out pretty quick because it's black people. So white people can just ignore it and act like what I'm saying, unless they're in that community, they can just kind of
Yeah,
go
like
about their
what
day.
about
And then
Chicago? It's
when it's
like
yeah, when it's kids though, it's a little bit harder. But like it was in Texas and like close to the border, so like a lot of the kids are like Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So like they don't they there's a certain amount of people who don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But like when it was Sandy Hook, it was like little white kids, and like even then, motherfuckers didn't do anything. And like you hear people going around saying like, hey, like it's terrible, but like that's that's the price of freedom. And it's like, bro, like if that's the price of freedom, I don't really want to pay that much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I got it. Like I don't, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that
Like
shit.
I don't want to put 5 on it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not
I need a
me.
payment plan for that
Like I
shit.
feel like we could yeah, like I didn't sign up for that freedom. Like I would like, huh? Like so, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we like obviously this shit keeps happening. And it's like y'all got to do at least something. Like other countries don't have this shit, so you can't like the reason they come like, oh, you can't. I mean, it's crazy people. Crazy people can get their hands and do all this and that, and it's like, yeah, but we take measures. Like you can use that logic anything. Like if I Google how to make a bomb on Google, like you can be like, hey, information is out there. People should be able to like search it, and like you're never gonna like if you really were intent on like making a bomb, you would find a way to figure it out. But like, okay, but if I Google it on Google, I'm gonna get flagged, and they gonna show up at my house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that makes sense to everybody because it's like it shouldn't be like, yeah, somebody who really wants to make a bomb might really actually like figure out how to do it if they didn't have Google. But that don't mean you should make it so easy that I could fucking Google it, dog.
Facts.
We like just because somebody who like, cause we should know everybody's lazy, bro. We're all like lazy. We're all like procrastinators. Like those barriers matter. Like if you make something harder for somebody to do, like there's a level of people that you're gonna actually stop doing that shit. Like, cause it's gonna be some motherfucker who wanted to do a shooting or whatever, and because it's like they go to get it and they're like, oh nah, if you realize if you buy this you're gonna be on a list, right? And that might like it sounds crazy, but like there's probably gonna be somebody like, oh, you know what, nah, I'm good. And then they like maybe 2 days from then they go like, I was fucking bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
like I mean that sounds like it's simplifying it, but like that's literally what it could be. Like that because it happens so frequently here, you can't say that like any deterrent wouldn't like at least slow this shit down at least a little bit. So it's like not taking any measures at all is fucking absurd. Like, dude, like I mean, obviously we're always gonna push for more, but like not doing anything is it's insane.
It's literally not. That's what I'm saying. Like the things that they do from a grand scale are not accepted from the individual. Like if you did something, hey, you're late to work. Ugh, sorry, and you didn't fix it, you'd be fired. Like
Like you're just like people just people are just late
people are
sometimes.
late.
Like nah, that's not how that works.
Sometimes, hey, the problem with me being on time is what if I'm on time and that causes an accident? Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like what?
what, bro? So yes, dude. My thing is, and I think honestly, people get sick of like, oh, the gun control talk. It's like, you know what? I don't even want to take it to the whole. Well, I'm sick of people dying. Like, obviously that's the case, but it's like I'm coming from where I'm coming from. It's like I'm just being fair. I think consistency is like and accountability is somewhat that we should work towards, not as a country but as people. And ultimately, a country is just a bunch of people, and that's how I feel, bro.
Yeah.
Is like I don't have the answers, but I'm also like, I wouldn't give you guys, if something went down, I wouldn't give you guys nothing. I'd come up with something.
Yeah,
That's
like
at
we
least
gotta
it.
throw. So that's what I'm saying. When people like, it's just, but again, it's just it's disingenuous anytime people say there's nothing we can do, like yes, there is. There's
Plenty of
like
things.
again, we're the only country that this happens to. So it's like it be maybe if if it's one of the other problems where like we do something and there's an outcome and then we might debate about whether that was the right thing to do or should we switch it up. Like that's different. But it's like one side wants to do something, like various levels of something. Like obviously there's people who are like take everything away, and then there's people who are like what I'm saying, we just need to make more background checks or putting motherfuckers on a list if they buy a shit ton of guns for no fucking seeming reason. Like, what I'm saying? Like, there's spectrums to it on one side, and then there's the other side just like, nothing we can do.
Or
And it's
like
like that,
fuck,
like, huh?
dude. Oh, see, I'm coming up with ideas already. Like, you know how pilots you can't fly for like 12-hour shifts or whatever it is. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
salesman, like, yo, I already sold this guy an AR-15 or whatever. Like, my manager code doesn't work. I need a manager. He's off today. Like some shit where like, it takes 12 hours for you to go buy something. Like, there should be a time clock.
Well, even then, that's that. Obviously, that's too
I know.
that's too short of a
I know.
time. But I get you.
I was saying like
Yeah,
a
but
background, something that like, dude, I buy some
you should
sneakers. It
just
takes a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
yeah,
shouldn't be able to get
mm,
something
yeah,
instantaneously.
yeah. It's
You could
it's
DoorDash a
too. But
gun
I
and shit.
also that'd be wild. But like, it's just obviously wild. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of nuance to it because it's like people who want them to take all the guns away. It's like who would even be in charge of that? Like you know what I'm saying? Like people already like people were talking shit about the police in the Uvalde. Wouldn't make sense because like that case was a mess because like the cops didn't go in for 40 minutes, so it's like the good guy with the gun thing don't really actually exist and shit. So it's like all that stuff. But it's like if we take away the guns, like you're gonna have the police do it, like who you don't really trust like that. So it's like, you know what I mean? But it's just, I mean, again, it can't just be nothing every time. Like people just not. I don't know. I feel like all this shit that's just going bad. It's like at some point there gotta be a breaking point in society where like shit started feeling like it might get like France in the 1800s. Motherfuckers might start revolting. I don't know where that edge is. Like shit just keeps getting worse, and you know what I'm saying. But it feels like at some point like there's gonna be a break. Like there has to be a breaking point. Like if you're just not
Well,
gonna
I
do
said,
anything
oh
and shit just keeps
yeah.
getting worse.
See, I don't want to get like clipped, but I said like that's the yeah. I don't know how to phrase this, but it's like the silver lining of an emergency. If something goes down, that's a social. It's been a social discussion. I'd say the
Mm-hmm.
only I don't want to say benefit. The only higher chance of awareness is if a minority or somebody of color commits the crime.
Yeah.
So then, kind of like when they did the assault rifle ban when the Black Panthers carried them, that type thing.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you mean,
Yeah.
but it's in like we're just like there's not too many mass shootings that are like fit that profile.
Exactly.
I know there's one in California where there was like a cop that was only taking out like cops because he
David Dorner.
He he got kicked off the force for reporting excessive force, and then they just fired him for it, which is like I was doing my job the correct way, and y'all fired me, and then so he went on a spree just like killing cops, which is like not okay, but it's like you look like that sound like a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like that sounds like it's still like, and John Wick is fun to watch, but like you're like this is not okay, like in real life. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like when motherfuckers going like the revenge, like, oh, the cartel killed my husband, and like go around and they're just like beating up random henchmen, and it's like in your head in the movie, like, yeah, fuck all them, but it's like that henchman didn't know your husband or whatever. Like you really just murked that guy because he was associated.
He makes like
with
80,000 a year.
like you know what I'm saying? He probably was born in like some shitty like town and like got swept up into the mob, like kind of just doing it to feed his family, and you come through and you literally just pretty much did the same thing to him that you're rampaging through the mob because they did to you. But like, okay, I guess like in the real world that's fucked up, but in a movie that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that I'm going off topic. But either way, yeah, that's the only one I'm thinking of where it kind of fits that profile. But yeah, it's just like black people not really, and it's weird because you would think black people would be the most angry in this country, to where you would think that would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not saying that it should, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. But that I'm with you though. Like that's like I think people thought like little white kids dying would probably change things, and it didn't because the NRA is so powerful. But I think a collective fear of like minorities might do it. But I don't want that to happen, and that shouldn't be the point of it. You know what I'm saying? It should be.
I just yeah, I mean,
should just be like, hey man, this is fucked up. People are dying, like of all shades and colors. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's happening. Motherfucker just shot up a hospital. Like, it's like, again,
so
because they fucked up his back. He thinks they fucked up his back surgery. It's like, bro.
so
Like,
the older I get,
but again,
oh my bad.
to me, and I don't want to put it on like it's only white people. I think it's just a product of our society. Like so many things suck, and like people don't know who to blame. That's why white people usually blame minorities, which makes zero sense. Like, we're not in control, bro. Your life is garbage. Is not my fault. Like, it's not our fault. We don't control anything. Like, it can't be. Like, obviously, there's rich black folks, and like they're part of the super duper rich black folks are part of the problem too, because they feed into the system that exploits people. But like, that shit is like, there's a very clear person or a group of people who are making all of our lives shittier, and like and everybody kind of just points to everybody else, which makes it it fundamentally makes
Right.
no sense.
I hate
Like,
that group
minorities are
of
the problem.
people put me down. I'm gonna go put this group of people down.
Yeah, but it's not even that. They just think that it's the other group. Like, they don't even think that it's the group that it is. Like, the group that like all of us, like all your homies, all your friends are talking about how like they can't afford shit and things are getting more expensive, but their job isn't raising wages. But it's like, it's because immigrants are taking their jobs. Like, bro, they're taking the shitty jobs. Like, that has nothing to do with why your job is shitty and why they also have to take shitty jobs.
Yeah, but they just think
probably the motherfucker providing the jobs, huh?
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't think.
Yeah,
like
but it also
that.
speaks to like privilege. They think, well, the resources they're putting forth.
I don't even think it's privilege.
No, but entitlement thinking, like the resources they're putting forth to help these Mexicans and onboard minorities at jobs is resources they could be putting towards me. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
Nah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm with you, and that's what they probably think in their head. But it's like, honestly, and I don't think it's like a privilege of like, I'm white, so I should have better. Like, even though I think that's part of it, I think it's just like the people who are in control just really did a really good job of like propagandizing those people and like making them think that like other people are the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they did that well, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think, I feel like, we lived in a culture. I don't think I broke out away from the mindset of like, oh, I want to be a billionaire and like this and that, and like want to be like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I don't think I broke away from that until like, last couple years or whatever the fuck it is. But I feel like that's the way our culture is. Everybody wants to be rich, right? But nobody talks about like what it takes to actually be like rich. And like, now I'm not talking about what it takes in terms of like the drive and like you only got 24 hours, like we all got 24 hours in a day, like no sleep, you sleep when you do. I'm talking about like usually you gotta fuck people over.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't think about like that's how our game is set up. It's like, when you remember like if you have a class that's curved or whatever, like a test or whatever, or a grading system in college that's curved. And I always thought, like, why would you ever do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it matter that, like, why should my grades ever matter about who, like, what your, like, if I got 98% of the questions right, what does it matter who else got whatever else? Like, how should that affect my grade? You know what I'm saying? But that's how our capitalist system is set up. It's like, it's not a like everybody can succeed shit. Like, you literally need people to not succeed for you to succeed, like, because there's only an infinite amount of money, or there's only a finite, not really, but like they make it seem like it's only a finite amount of money, and like that's how it's set up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, luckily I was the kids that raised the curve because I was the only one scoring down. So you know what I'm saying?
Right. So you just skew it like, everything's
Everyone's
fine.
like,
Like,
oh man, who got the 40? I'm like, yeah, what is good, bro?
right. But you can't just be happy. Like, it makes it super competitive for no reason. Like, I can't be happy that I got a 90 and you got a 90. We both got 90. We both got A's. Like, we should be happy for each other. It shouldn't be like, oh, I got a 91 and like, oh, you got a 93. Fuck. So now I actually got a B or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just garbage thinking to me. It always has been. So,
Yeah.
but I just think that like we breed that in our culture of like, you know what I'm saying? You want to get this, and like if people are homeless, it's their fault. Like, which makes zero sense. Like, we all know that like
Who would
we
choose
all
that?
live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, we all live paycheck to paycheck. So like we all know somebody who could be homeless tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just wild that like we have this mentality.
Dude, that's
but
what pisses me off
it's
because
just
it's like you
crazy.
could be broker way faster than ever getting rich, you know? And it's like
Oh
that's why
yeah,
it's like
you wake and that's
yeah.
the safety nets, like the welfare, and that's the thing. Like people hate welfare, which makes zero sense. It's like it's there for you. Like you, it's there for like if something happens because you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like you don't know anything, bro. Like we have no clue. So it's like it's there to protect you. Like you shouldn't give a fuck who's on welfare right now. You should like it's there for if some shit happen to me, I won't be out here starving. Like
Yeah, bro.
that's the way you think. Like that same thing with healthcare. Like you people think about like why would I pay for other people? Like you're not. You're paying for you. You all and we're already paying for other people. People don't understand our healthcare system is like we already paying our taxes for people who don't got healthcare. They still go to the hospital and they still have hospital bills they can't pay, and we pay that shit off in our taxes. Only problem is we don't end up
It's
benefiting
like
from
they
that shit
want
at
to be
all
the
anyway.
bottom. That's like being like in a sport and being like, "Yo, I hate that they're playing minor league baseball in the minor leagues. Like, I wish they ended it at this." It's like, "Oh, word. So if you lose, you got no shot at nothing." Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, like it don't make any sense. Like you want you like people. It's weird that we're so selfish that we're like we fuck it up for ourselves in our society. Like because it's like if you think about it selfishly, all that stuff makes sense. Like if you think about it selfishly, universal healthcare makes sense for you. Like it's for just for you. It's a selfish thing and selfless at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like cuz you could just think about yourself about it and it makes sense more so than the system we have. Like it only benefits health insurance companies. That's it. That's the health and the doctors who get to charge health insurance companies out the ass because it's like fuck them. Like you know what I'm saying? They just go back and forth with it, and we're the only people who get fucked out of it. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just odd to me because it's like we're a super selfish culture, but it's like we don't even look at like
The benefits.
the things that would it's like actually being a little selfless is still benefits us in a selfish way.
Yeah,
So
like
it's
bro,
like
we're abundant.
it's
Like this
weird.
world is abundant. So to think like if this person goes to the doctor, it's one less doctor for me. It's like, are you sick right now? Are you going to the doctor? No. Well then shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here, bro.
exactly. Like I don't. You think like you thinking about that? I remember. I know we're way off the gun thing, but I just remember in college, like we're like talking about healthcare and shit, and this one chick was just like, I don't know. I would be pretty mad if I went to the hospital and like, there was like a bunch of like illegal immigrants that took up like the beds and they didn't have like health insurance, and we're all just like, what? Like, you think you go to the hospital and they tell you who's in every bed and whether or not they have health insurance? The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, how would you
Like,
know?
you would never know
It's not
that.
the
You never would, like,
YMCA. Like the fuck?
right? Just like you'd never know who's on healthcare and like using your money to buy steaks and shrimp. Like, you don't like, or you can be like, there's definitely somebody using my money to feed their fucking kid who's starving. Like, and you know what I'm saying?
How
Like,
many politicians take my money to feed their side chick? You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
pay for
bro.
the
Like,
how many politicians pay for
how
abortions after
I
they
mean, how
vote
many
for 'em?
abortions I
Yeah,
paid for,
dude,
bro? How many cocaine parties has my tax dollars paid
facts. How
for,
many
bro?
deaths have I
Like,
paid for with these guns, bro? Fuck.
yeah, bro. Like how many people have I paid to like disappear? Like, come on, man.
Dude,
Like, we could do that shit with everything that we pay our taxes on. Like,
dude.
so like don't stop being obtuse. Like, it's just
They're like
annoying.
the
But
weed can't.
sorry,
The
like,
weed. The country can't tell you. Yeah, they can. The government tells me how much weed I can smoke, bro. It's quite. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's like it's fucking crazy. But yeah, sorry. We got off all track. We again, everybody knows what our opinions are on this shit. It's just dumb that we have to. We'll be back in like 6-7 months when we have to do this.
and we're like, what happened? Well, nothing. They no, but shout out to the GOAT,
Yeah.
George Carlin, rest in peace. I didn't even think about like his bit on they're banning toy guns but keeping the real ones. Like I think why
Yeah.
do they have bans on fake guns? Like are they acknowledging that they're dangerous and like the possible reduction of them would be safer? Like that's
Because somebody else might shoot you. It's just wild. somebody might shoot you with a real gun, with your fake gun, and it's like, oh man, it's not like, oh, that person died. It's that you just caused trauma on the person who shot you. Like, all right, man.
Oh, like it wasn't a fair fight. Like if you had a real gun, it would have been fine.
No, like you have a fake gun and you're just fucking around with a fake gun, and a person with a real gun thinks that you have a real gun, and they shoot you, and it's like, oh, now the person with the real gun shot somebody they didn't have to shoot, and now they got to live with that they murdered somebody, and that's what people care about more than like whether or not somebody actually dies. You know what I mean?
So if somebody has a real gun and then you actually get your gun and kill them, it's good. But if they have a toy gun, then you feel bad. Got it.
Yeah, they're mad at you feel bad, you know what I mean? Like nobody should have to go through that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's what it's like, you know what I mean? The cop that killed the little kid with the toy gun, even though he was like 11. And it's like everybody's like, wow, you really just shot a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't think about it, but it's like, and they're like, well, that cop's scarred. He just shot a kid. He didn't have yeah, he didn't have to. Probably should have thought about it a little bit more, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, but okay.
Wow.
But yeah,
sad stuff, bro.
We can yeah, I know we gonna have to pivot, another hard pivot out of this. Have you watched any movies, anything?
I was gonna ask you.
I can get some reviews off real quick, and then we can do cause I know we're running long.
I was gonna ask you about TV wise. No, a lot of my shows are kind of on hiatus right now, so I was gonna ask if there's any.
So all the powers,
all the powers, yeah. But also, Curb Your Enthusiasm has been rocking. Rick and Morty, nothing I really watch is back. Euphoria is gone. Immature or what? Not immature. What's it called? What's that show called with Issa? Insecure.
Oh, Insecure. Yeah, that's done. She has another show coming out. I don't know when. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I'm gonna be excited for that. I think it's called like Rap Shit. It's gonna be like following like female rappers in LA. I'm like, oh yeah, that might be cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm trying to think what I started.
So I'm with you.
Other than that,
I know you're probably on some docs and shit.
Yeah, I watched the George Carlin documentary. Shouts to him. Yeah, George Carlin documentary is on HBO.
He's cool dude.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I started it, but I was like, then I went somewhere or some shit, so I gotta finish that. But yeah, I've seen a couple movies, and like I'll stay up on TV shows. I watched Atlanta season 3. It was cool. And like the individual episodes were good, but I feel like because if people don't know, if people watch Atlanta, like they had the first 2 seasons, and then every main character from the show blew up to where like their schedules are all crazy, and then obviously we had a pandemic, so like they didn't end up filming season 3 until like 3-4 years later, and then they filmed season 3 and season 4 back to back because they're like, you know what I'm saying, we don't really got time with everybody's schedules, you know what I'm saying. And so like season 3 was kind of, to me, it was a mess in terms of like that they had like half the season was like one-off episodes where like none of the main casts were in, and like there really wasn't like, there was like, they were in Europe, but like there wasn't like it didn't feel like there was like an overarching plot over the season, which was like, it just was a weird season to me. So I would still say watch it, because again, the episodes on their own were good, and they had like a lot of ones with some good messages in it, and that were funny. They had Liam Neeson in an episode where he's like at a cancel culture club or whatever, or like where it's like people who are canceled are at this club, and it's like Liam Neeson talking about how he was canceled or whatever, which was kind of funny. And then they also had one with Chet Hanks, if people know, like Tom Hanks' son, who was like doing a Jamaican accent.
Oh yeah, he talks
like,
about,
it's your boy Chetana. Boom, boom. It's like, bro, what? Which is like, and they, because it's like people were getting on him because he's like culturally appropriating, but I'm always like on the weirdness of that, because it's like, I get that cultural appropriation is like a thing, and it's like, it's not good, but I'm like, how much of it actually like affects like in terms of the things that actually affect minorities, like it's very low on the scale. Like if you're just doing a fucking Jamaican accent, like that's really not, like, it's dumb. You can laugh and be like, yo, Chet Hanks a fucking idiot, but it's like, that's not like scarring you, bro. Like that's not hurting your, You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not really like painful in the ways people try to make
Well,
it
that's
seem
why people
online.
mean when they say like white people can't experience racism, which is like they don't mean that. It's which is true. Like surfacely,
Yeah,
like yes, you could call somebody a tone of color and then say a bad term.
yeah,
But when you say something like a pussy ass white boy in basketball, like there's no social construct that doesn't allow a pussy ass white boy to prevail. There's plenty of pussy ass white boys that are in
yeah,
power. You know what I'm saying? But when you say the
yeah. So
N
like,
word or
you know
you
what I'm
say
saying?
something that's disparaging to a minority, it continues to buy into this idea that they're less than.
And there's weight behind it.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So
Like, but again,
yeah,
it's like but there's like there's certain things that aren't like a white person wearing dreads. Like, is that cultural appropriation? Yeah, by definition. But it's like that white person wearing dreads don't really actually like. It's not like going into racism to make like my life
yeah.
worse. That person just looks stupid with
Whenever
dreads.
I see
That's
a
it.
white
That's all
person
it
with
is.
dreads, I just want to shower. Like they just look dirty.
It just looks terrible. So it's just
Yeah.
funny to me. So like that's where I'm like at. But either way, yeah. So you had Chet Hankston on one of the episodes, and so like it was cool. It was I still liked the season, but I was just kind of perplexed by like the plot of it all. And then some other shows I watched. I watched Stranger Things 4. It's pretty good. They brought that one back. Only thing good coming out of Netflix. So like I'm sure everybody knows that's too big for me to even talk about. I watched Severance on Apple Plus. I don't know if you heard of this show,
Nah,
Jesse.
nah.
So it got the dude from is he in the office? Am I bugging? No, he's from Parks and Rec. Uh, why am I blanking on his name? Adam Scott from Parks and Rec.
No, Michael Scott
I
is
forgot who he
the.
played.
I don't know.
I know Adam Scott's like the actor's name,
Uh,
but he's like plays in Parks and Rec. But like, he also was Derek from
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know what
him.
you're talking about. Visually speaking, I know what you're talking
So
about.
like, right, exactly. So like, and the way the show's set up is these people work for a job, and how it works is you sign up to get a procedure done in your brain to where when you're at work, you don't remember anything about your normal life. All you know is work, and then when you're at home, you don't remember anything about
That'd
work.
be
So it's
clutch.
like so it sounds clutch, but it's like that's kind of crazy because you're kind of like you literally don't know anything about like the person. Obviously, the show explains it more, but it's like the person who works is pretty much stuck at work at all times. You know what I mean? In their head, like it feels to them like they're always at work, which sounds fucking awful, right? But so that's what and it shows you like the type of people who would sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like off rip. That's like the first thing you do because I was like, that's a weird concept. Like, let me check it out. And so they like all off rip, but like, so it's definitely like a slow burn of them like showing you what's going on and like how people feel about doing it, but like and like what the company actually does and all this shit. And so it's like very slow, but like then it like builds up and gets pretty intense at the end. So like I would say definitely check it out. It's a pretty good if you into like something like that where it's like weird and then it gets like kind of suspenseful. I would say check it out. I thought it was pretty
Sounds like
good.
Black
Like
Mirror.
apparently, it is it's Black Mirror esque, but it's not that deep into the trippiness of it. But it's definitely it's in that realm, I would say. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Apparently, Ben Stiller directed, which is random as hell. But I thought it was pretty good. And then who was the other one that I watched? I think that was it for TV, pretty much. For movies, I saw Jackass Forever. It's the same. If you like Jackass, like you're
I'm sick of those.
probably gonna fuck with that one. Yeah, they brought like new people
I was
on,
gonna
so it's like
see,
kind of
is
remix
there
it.
anything in
But
the
I'm like, how these
theaters?
dudes are old as hell. The thing in theaters that everybody's talking about is Top Gun 2. I'm like, apparently it's really good, but I haven't seen it, so I don't even remember Top Gun 1. So I'm not about to be gassing up Top Gun. And then the other movie I saw was this movie called Emergency, and it's on Amazon Prime, and it's pretty much about these black college roommates. They like live together in college, and like it's like the end of the year. They're about to do like a big party, like crawl or whatever, and like they come home from like about to get ready to go out, and there's a white girl passed out in the middle of their apartment, like thrown up, passed out, and like cause they have another roommate that's like home, but he was playing video games, so he didn't even realize that somebody like came in. And so like the two black dudes are like, oh, what do we do? And like one of the black dudes is from Africa, so he's like, he's not like he's not used to like the full like American black experience. So he's just like, yo, we should call the cops. And then the dude's like from here is like, call the cops and tell us that a white girl is passed out drunk in the middle of our apartment and we don't know how. Like, you think they're gonna believe that? Like, you think they're gonna take that well, or are we gonna fucking end up in jail? You know what I mean? uh and so like that sets the whole thing up because like they don't know what to do, and like they try to like, oh, maybe we should like bring her somewhere, and like, but they're like, we can't bring her and leave her somewhere, like if somebody sees this, like that's obviously bad. So it's like like it's a comedy, but it's also like slightly a horror because it's like that's a shitty scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of funny parts, but like at the end it definitely like hits you. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
What's it called?
Like, I would say definitely check that out.
Emergency.
It's called Emergency.
What's it on?
Yeah, because it's on Amazon Prime. Like, but because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I would do in that situation if I was in college and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just come and then somebody just passed out. Yeah, and yeah, so it's a wild fucking. But again, it's some comedy because it's like, at one point they're at like, I don't think this is a spoiler, but they're like at like another homie's house because they needed a car or whatever, and they're like, they find out that they had the white girl and like or whatever, and then like the dude's like, what? And like there's a bunch of people in their house like playing 2K and shit, and then when they find out there's a white girl, like they're like, nope, and they all just like leave. Like, nope, not about to clutch and get me caught up. Like, I was like, oh man. So yeah, I would say definitely check that out. But yeah, that's all the shit that I had seen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Nah, I mean, there was a Larry David documentary that was gonna come out, but he like pulled it last minute, so I'm just waiting on that. But nah, man, I think
Lawrence David.
What they say the other one, La Dave or Lack Dave or something. Yeah, Lawrence.
I don't know. I would just like, I found out the other day that like Larry is short for Lawrence, and I don't know what I thought Larry was short for, but it doesn't feel like it should be Lawrence. And so I'm like, so Larry David's full name is Lawrence David?
Yeah.
And I like literally Googled it, like, there's nobody in his life who's ever called him Lawrence, right?
Nah, Larry.
Yeah, there's no like Lawrence, like that's. I'm like, Lawrence is not even a white person's name. There's no white people. I don't care if it's on their birth certificate that they're Lawrence. Like, what white dude is named? You know, one white dude who goes by Lawrence.
Goes by Lawrence, yes, because his last name is Lawrence, but his first name is Brent.
Oh yeah, white people do that.
Brendan
like
Lawrence. So,
name. But like,
yeah, Lawrence.
But like most white, if your name white, like Lawrence is a black
Martin
name,
Lawrence. I like it.
it.
That's my only reference. But nah, yeah, I think we've arrived. Burn, bro. Songs of the month, songs of the week, whatever you want to call it. Songs of the pod. Yeah, I'm rocking Polo G, bro. Rodway, Polo G.
Damn.
You know, I'm consistent with it. Polo G got a song out called Distraction. And he says,
it's funny. I just seen people talking shit about him, saying that he's fell off.
Well, that's the beauty of them. They ain't me.
It's opinions,
yeah,
right?
Like Dave Chappelle said, I love Twitter because it's not a real place.
Yeah.
But nah, I like Distraction because it's a good song talking about, you know, controlling his environment, and he's around his bubble, and like the people he's around should bring the best out of him, or otherwise they're a distraction. Bars.
Yeah.
So yeah, songs of the week, Polo G, Distraction.
I gotta listen to that one. Yeah, you know how I usually do. You know, I got the songs of the week, but you know, since we're doing this on the monthly thing, I just cover it like the big things that drop. You know, I don't think we didn't get a chance to talk about the Kendrick album. I thought it was pretty good. It definitely was like dark.
N95.
Yeah, I like N95.
And Count Me Out.
I like Rich Spirit. I like was it not Savior? I like what's the one with Kodak? Okay, why am I blanking on that one?
There's one where
like,
I thought it was gonna
breath these people up, and you like, ooh.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a TikTok dance, like ooh, push to the side, like ooh.
It is.
Oh, look at me.
It is.
See, I should be a choreographer.
There you go, bro. Yeah, like I think that's Silent Hill is the name of that. But like, obviously, there's some deeper songs that are like very like. It sounded like he went to therapy, and like this album was just like his. You know, he was just releasing that like Father. Was it Father Time? Oh, I forgot what the hell it's called. I don't know why. But that's a good song. But obviously, I'm like, I can't just listen to that. So I think that's the main critique that I've been seeing. People are like, you know, like it's a good album, but people are like the replay value is not great because it's like when you're gonna listen to these songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the trade off too.
Like yeah, like a song like Auntie Diaries, which is not too many rappers are talking about trans stuff, and so and like people complain because he was using the F word in there, which I get the critique, but the overall message of the song is being accepting to trans people, which is like not he's got to be like the first rapper to do that, at least mainstream rapper to do that. So like things kind of probably outweigh some things. But again, I don't think motherfuckers are like, let me throw that on real quick, which I get. So but art is art. So there's that. And then Bad Bunny dropped the album, pretty big. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but it was good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. And then Ravyn Lenae is a R&B singer. I would say check her out. I really like her stuff. So she dropped an album. It had been a while. So, but that was pretty much the major. I don't know if we talked about the Jack Harlow album. I don't know if that was like in between, but like it was okay. I was a big Jack Harlow person. Like I hate saying that. Like before he blew up or
Yeah,
whatever.
but I mean, I say that's
But
the win or lose thing. It's like you either stay in that pocket where you're an up and coming artist, or you make it, and then people have all these opinions about it. Like
yeah, right. It's like I was a big the baby guy, and then he blows up, and then now everybody like he just makes the same song, which is like not even remotely true. He has the same flow on every beat. He's not making the same song, but like it is what it is. Like I know that he like I don't enjoy him as much as I did before, but I'm sure he could make a song that I would like at some point. The same thing with Jack Harlow. Like I liked this album before this one, and that one was post blow up too. But I'm like, he's transitioning from like when he was obviously the up and coming, like he's doing pop rap now, and it's like that's gonna be the thing that's like it's gonna appeal to more people, but it's like people who are like me, who are like quote unquote hip hop heads. I like pop rap too. Like obviously I like Drake, but it's like in terms of that stuff, it's just not gonna appeal to us as much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna appeal to white girls at college, man. That's and like that's just kind of how it works, man.
yeah, who cares if he's getting paid
what I
for
mean?
it? I don't care.
Yeah, if it's working out for him, like I mean, I don't have to say that the album's good or anything, but it definitely wasn't as bad as people on Twitter were trying to make it seem like. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Like he was never like giving us like depth and then like a bunch of like bars. Like, yeah, bro, like you're just trying to make music, like you know what I'm saying. And that's the thing that the contrast between him and Kendrick is kind of funny because it's like Kendrick is doing the super high artsy thing and people don't fuck with it, and then Jack Harlow's doing the complete opposite where he's doing pop, like low stakes, low depth music, and people don't fuck with it. So it's like, and I mean that kind of just tells you that like there's facets to it. Like you could be Bari, you could be Lupe Fiasco, but like the music still got to be good to catch people. Like there's got to be a digestibility to it, and then you can be you could try to do Drake shit, but you gotta know how to do it to where people still gonna fuck with it.
Or
so.
people just want a lane to complain, bro. Like, do you think people are really gonna
yeah,
be like, "Oh, I'm happy, no complaints here"?
Yeah, that's the thing too. And there's a thing on Twitter where you can sense where people get a sense of what they can tweet that'll get them clout. Like they just like they know that like like for the most part most people like J. Cole or at least think he's a good rapper. But there was a time period where if you made a J. Cole makes boring music tweet on Twitter, you would do numbers because that just was trending at the time.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where if you could say Big Sean is corny tweet on Twitter, you would get big numbers because that was like, you know what I'm saying? That was the thing to do. Like, so like some people just throw it out there, like when trolls, like Kendrick Lamar album could have been whatever, but there would have been somebody out there who would have been like, this is mid to see what people's reaction was. And if people would have reacted to it and they would have got a bunch of likes, you would have seen a shit ton of other like people coming out and with the same kind of format tweet, pretty much doing the same thing and like getting the clout off of it. Like people clowning. And there's one point where people were clowning like Devin Booker for some reason, and I was like noticing like that was getting a lot of like tread on social, and I'm like, why? Like not doing anything different than any other basketball player. This is weird. So like, yeah, you like I feel like once you like realize that, you can just see where people.
Yeah, I get you.
Clout chasing.
I see that for like even things that are not people, like when like couple years ago, they were like, "Oh man, this January is so long. It's like it's the same every year, like that type of shit."
Yeah. Like this January was 2 months. It's like, I mean, not really,
Nah.
but then it just for some reason that did numbers, and you see like 4 different like tweets that are just like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or like,
you know,
I
it's like,
mean, you know, I know I'm Diet Coke gang over here, and I'm Diet Soda gang. There's like this community of like, I'd rather drink piss than Diet Pepsi. It's like, no, you wouldn't, bro. Like Diet Pepsi is not that bad, bro. Like, come on. But like, because there's that community, it's like all you could do is you could be like nobody, and then like they show like, you know, dirt water. They're like Diet Pepsi. It's like, all right, we get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So
I feel you.
But yeah, those are my songs of the week. I would just say check if you haven't checked those things out. You know, check them out. I ain't really giving no songs. I'll give a song.
Yeah, give me the song, bro. DJ Butter.
Let me look that up. You know, you can go follow Butter Sauce Fines too. Is pretty good. I would say, if I say so myself, because I'm myself.
Damn, the Rangers lost, bro. Rangers and Yankees played,
like
but I said fuck that.
Like out of the playoffs.
No, they still. It's on game 3. They're up 2-1. But it's the Bucketup pod, baby. That comes first.
There you go. I'll make my song of the week. CyHi the Prince dropped a little EP. Got a song called Slide. I would say check that one out. I'll make that my song of the week.
Damn, bro.
We ain't got a song of the summer
What's
yet.
it called? Slide?
That'll come at some point. Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. But nah, shouts to you, man, putting up with me time in, time out. It's great catching back on our planet, the pod. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the only times I see you, bro. And my football season's over now, though, so I can turn up with the get ups more.
I mean, I be inviting you to stuff, and sometimes you be passing, so it's all
yeah,
good.
no, that's real. But we should do some more, like, you know, maybe we get on some sushi or do something in the near future. But shouts to getting back on. You know what I'm saying, I gotta talk to you a bunch of stories off the pod too, man. Just endless dynamics. But nah, man. You know, Instagram, Twitter. Where else can they find us, man? Shouts to you.
Yeah. I don't know what you're listening to us on right now, but we're on all the OG audio podcast listening stuff. We're on Apple Podcasts, I guess.
Apple Pod, yeah,
we're on there.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher Radio. We're on Google Play.
YouTube.
If you're on Spotify, make sure you subscribe to us with that little bell in the corner. That'll tell you, that'll notify you whenever we drop new episodes. Same thing on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to us. If you haven't left a review yet, leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. And if you want to interact with us on social, make sure you hit us up on Facebook. We're the Bucketup Podcast. On Instagram, we're at the Buckethead Boys, and then on Twitter, we're at Bucketup Podcast. Or you can follow us individually. The homie Jesse is at JB Speak, and I'm at Tylante, aka Pinot Negro, right now. Yeah, you can chop it up with us if you want to talk about shit we talked about on the pod. Send us topics you want us to catch on the next pod.
Gun control ideas, we all with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Then I'm sure we got a sponsor.
We do, bro. Right. Sunday Scaries, man, showing love. They keep emailing me. Actually, shouts to Bo, and I believe shouts to Bo and them for showing us love, always emailing us. They increased the discount, so by all means continue to jump on that. I think it's 20 to 5%, 30% on holidays or whatever. So promo code Bucketup, bro. Get what I'm saying, the gummies, get the tinctures. I like the unicorn jerky. That shit's fire. And then what I'm saying, if you want to ice your wrist up, Daniel Phillip Jewelry, you know what I'm saying, get some nice little bracelet. And then shouts to nothing solid yet because they don't have anything yet, but the Bloody Mary, bro. I'm out here pushing that heavy. I want to continue to show that like the Bucketup Media, our brand, has like many different facets. So like, even though we've been slowing down on Bucketup because that ties on daddy duty, we got other shit. We got Najee K. If you want to get on Stream Chasers, like Ty can put you in we can put you in touch with Ty and someone else. We can figure that out. Food reviews. We got the homie, the executive producer Trav. He's the AZ foodie king. Whatever. So we do food reviews, Bloody Mary, bro. And then we got those Bloody Mary companies that have been reaching out to me and wanting try to create a relationship. So all for it. Let us know what you got in mind, and we'll be for it. But as for Yeah, man. Ty, thanks to you, bro, putting up with me, dog. Trying to think what else we got, man. We got the shouts to Mari.
I got to pee,
Oh
so we
yeah,
should wrap this up.
Daddy's got to pee, but for DJ Buttersauce, he's got to pee. For the kid JB, for the Bucket Hat Boys, episode 183, got to pee. It rhymes, bars. But yeah, we are on our way to the lab. Bucket Hat Boys, gotta catch a cab. It rhymed. We out.
We out.
We out.
Chit.
Later.
I'll be right back.
I got pee too. Oh. Man. Yeah, it's funny though. Bodega's got the za now, bro. So you just lean over the counter and you're just like, "Yo, you got za?" And he's like, "What?" And then they'll just like do like this shit, like slide it next to the shit and like just kind of wiggle it.
Even though you're not supposed to sell it or whatever.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. But I was like, "Nah, you got pre rolls because I'm not trying to break it down and roll up shit." So they had like these pre roll joints, so they're fire, bro. Dude, that's another thing. My brother, they're all, dude, like. They're just exhausting fucking people, bro. Like, if I told you, let me just tell you what he does. He's like, "Yo, I got you weed for when you're here." I'm like, "All right, dope." He'll show me like, "Oh, I got this type. I got this type." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Can I try this?" And he'll be like, "Oh, well, why don't we smoke this one first?" And I'm like, "So you didn't get me weed. You got you more weed and just showed it to me." You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got you weed when you come pull up, it's your weed. Smoke it whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. That's what I got when he came here. I was like, "Here's your welcome pack. You know, you can smoke my weed too, but I got you a little packet so you can smoke whenever you want. You don't got a gatekeep. I don't got, you know." But he does that, bro. He'll be like, he bought me sour diesel because I asked for it. He got 4 ounces, which is plenty enough weed, bro. And I was like, "Yo, can I just break some of this down?" He's like, "Oh, I already got this grinded." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck." All right, man. Like, it's just the worst.
Yeah, I feel. I mean, I don't know. Your brother's just kind of beyond one at this point.
Yeah, my brother's he's a unique guy. It's Michael Scott, you know.
I know Katie texted me and asked me if I was done yet, so I'm assuming Mari might be hitting that time.
Yeah, I gotta get some food. Might get some canes. I don't know. I show you this shit, bro. It's like a rechargeable keyboard cleaner.
That's wild. It looks like a it looks like a drill, dude.
I know. It's good for the car too. And then if you plug, there's another contraption you plug on this side, it becomes a vacuum. So we out here being nifty.
All right,
you ready?
I got the stuff in the chat. Yep.
All right, you ready? Hold on.
this episode.
On this episode of the Bucketup podcast,
Jesse makes his return to New York.
We're all sick of gun control debates.
Movie reviews for the movie Emergency and Jackass 4.
CyHi reviews Severance and Atlanta.
Reactions to Kendrick Lamar and Jack Harlow's new albums, and much more. Okay.
CyHi